Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chang podcast. This is episode 20 featuring JinxEndless, aka Evelyn. Evelyn, thank you so much for your time and for being able to commit to this. Thank you. We're ready. How are you feeling?
I'm good. Really tired though.
Again, guys, this is episode 20. Please note that there's exclamation podcast as a command to understand why I'm doing this, but to summarize it, it's just a way to get to familiarize myself with the other person, other fellow streamer homie on a more personal level. And Evelyn's definitely going to be talking a lot about her life. Please use exclamation guest to follow her on her Twitch channel. So, exclamation guest. Alright, gonna get right into it. Let's start things off with a brief introduction about yourself. Feel free to include some of your interests and hobbies.
Okay. Hi, my name's Evelyn, or some of you might know me as Jinx. I am obviously a mod in Extra Wires chat. That's how most of you know me. But I do stream like League and Valorant, and I am in my second year of college. And you guys already know the hobbies. I'm literally on Valorant 24/7. Is that it?
Is that it? Your quick
Yeah.
overview? Okay. Talk a little bit about your personality. What do you like?
What I like? Like, do you mean like hobby wise or like?
Oh no,
what I
like
like
what
in
are you
general?
like? Your
Oh,
personality.
what am I like?
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, my personality is more very caring. I think a lot of people in some discourse know this, is that I genuinely do sit there and take care of you guys. Like, I'm not just a mod or a streamer. I go out there and actually talk to you, get to know you as a person. And some people share some things with me that I refuse to share with other people because that is your business. And I create this comfort space enough for you to tell me, because obviously I'm like, if I promise to make you feel comfortable, I will sit there and listen. I'm kind of like a more of a listener, but I can also talk myself. So yeah, I'll give my opinions, but I'll never say I know how you feel unless I truly know how you feel, and I've been in that situation before.
Mm-hmm. So, would you say you're more of an introvert or an extrovert?
I feel like I'm more of a little bit of both, more extroverted than introverted.
Mm-hmm. Just a good mix. That's totally understandable.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your childhood. So you could talk from the beginning, like growing up, where you were born, what was life like for you, and then you could just give a good overview until the person you are today.
Okay. Childhood, I'm gonna speak up until middle school. As like, I got this question a lot on my stream, or not a lot, but like it's a question that stuck with me. Is my dad West Coast? Like, were we on the West Coast before we moved to East Coast? My childhood was, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was rough. I would say it's a little bit more privileged in a way for an immigrant family, because I based my personality because of my dad. My dad wasn't in my life a lot. It's not like he is now. Like, he's not like those dads who are like, "Oh, get up and leave." It's more like, I hate it when people say they hate their parents, because it triggers me so bad. Um, my dad used to never come to my concerts and all, and I was like I never really cared, because one, I love my dad. I love both my parents very much, even though, you know, mom and me argue because it's a normal mother and father thing. And my dad, I'll tell you, my dad's a very hardworking man. Like, he has his morals, he has his ups and downs. My dad used to travel like Georgia to Alabama every day for work. And Georgia to Alabama, I think it's like, that's a long time to to travel for, like, every day work wise. That's a 4 to 5 hour drive every day. This is for nails. And my dad now runs a business that everybody knows me and him, because, you know, like they have a lot of respect for my dad. Like my dad's a workaholic. This is the reason where I get my no sleep from, besides my DGen friends, is that he doesn't stop like working until it's done. Like every day he would drive me to school and then drive that 5-hour drive to work. And he's always the
Wow.
first person. Even now, like he wants me to get into the habit of show up an hour early, you're on time. Show up on time, you're late. That's how I look at things now, because whenever I show up on time, I know I'm late. Whenever I show up an hour early, I know I'm on time. That's always been how I looked at things. I never sat there and said I hated my dad because I knew what he went through for me. Like everything I have now is because of him. So from elementary, like from preschool to elementary, like I was raised on the morals, appreciate everything you have. Even, and you look at others, they don't have the same things you do. And you don't look down upon them because you're, you were taught better than that. Don't look down on people. Like, do things to help the community. Reasons like whenever I go out with friends, I always pay for their things, because, or every now and then, like today, my friend has been working hard. Like she gets up at 5 a.m. and she doesn't go to sleep until 4 a.m. the next day because she's working, going to school, and all that. So like I always treat my friends because I know how hard they're working. They're exactly like my dad. Reasons I'm friends with them is because they're exactly like my dad. Yeah, that's basically my childhood. Like I spent my life with my grandparents. Reasons why family is so important to me.
Yeah.
Is because like even when my grandpa is forgetting things now, he always remembers me. That's the first person he asks for in the morning. That's the last person he asks for when he goes to bed. And yeah, that's pretty much it of my childhood. Family orientated and raised to be humble and not selfish.
So where were you born, and are you still there?
I was born here and I'm still here. I was born in Georgia and raised in Georgia.
Georgia, okay. And what's your ethnicity?
Vietnamese.
Full Viet. And you speak it and communicate with your parents in Viet?
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned what kind of person your dad was, and you said that he wasn't really around much because he was super busy when you were younger. But what was like your actual relationship like with both parents?
I think it was more... It's very strained because of the distance, and like, yeah, I appreciate them, but then they were like, as a kid, like you wish your parents were there at every concert. You wish they showed up, took you places, but I mean, the relationship was like very not there. It was just like, oh, these are, my parents.
Yeah.
But end of the day, like they took care of me.
And you're an only child?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was your personality different when you were a kid?
It was more introverted as a kid than anything. It wasn't as outgoing as it is now. I stuck with a group of people more than I went out of my way to talk to people. Like I only spoke to my cousin in elementary. I didn't speak to anybody else.
Talking about Georgia, what is it like living there, and like what's the diversity?
I live more south of Georgia, so there's more country and people are a little bit nicer here. Less creepier than in the city. In the city, it is a whole different ball game. You have to be cautious of literally every person you run into because you don't know their intentions. Like, trigger warning, the city is known for sex trafficking, and we recently had like 3 murders, brutal murders, so you just don't know who you can trust at all. Like, you literally have to be the most cautious person going into the city.
Wow. Georgia.
Like, we had a woman recently brutally murdered, and with her dog too. So it's like, even if I was to have a giant dog, like my dog could get killed as well.
It's rough. That area.
Yeah, it's very rough. Reasons like every time I go into the city, I always take a friend. Like I'm going to the city for college next year, and I'll have like burnt coffee with me. But even then, like coffee's going in like in his freshman year, and he's older than me. And I'm just like nobody can always protect me. Like I have to learn self-defense by next year if I'm gonna go into the city, because my friends can't protect me. I'm going into a different major too,
Hmm.
and they're going into a different major.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about college further down.
Yeah.
So how about like in your area, what's like the weather like, the ethnicity of the people around you? Are you one of the minority, majority?
Um, okay, in the county I live in is mainly white, but
Mm-hmm.
in the next county over is mainly Viet. Like the old county I used to live in is mainly Viet people. Um, then that's just like how people are here compared to Morrow. Like I live in McDonough, they live in Morrow. It's Morrow is more ghetto, and then Henry is more like very chill. Like there's not much going around here. When there is something big, it's pretty big. Like everything gets around easier here than it does in Morrow. Like people talk a little bit more here.
Mm-hmm. So talking specifically on your childhood, let's start from like elementary,
Mm-hmm.
transitioning to school.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like for you, and any memories you want to talk about?
Elementary
Highlights?
into middle school, you mean? Or
Or we could start
just
with elementary. Yeah, whatever's fine.
elementary, there isn't much I remember. I remember just being very introverted until like my last year, where I have this habit of visiting every teacher that I knew down the hallway. So I tend to skip classes by talking to my teachers for a long period of time, and I never really got in trouble for it because I was with like an authority. I wasn't like going off like outside or anything, or being somewhere I wasn't supposed to be. But I think like the major change was like from elementary to middle. I like elementary didn't really have much going on other than me being just very quiet in what I did.
Mm-hmm.
But like elementary and middle school was a whole different jump that I was not expecting.
What did you like doing as a kid?
I liked writing a lot. Writing and playing Minecraft and playing League.
What kind of writing are you talking about?
Like fictional writing. I have this 8-year story still going on in
Ah,
my head.
stories. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
What's this story about? It's basically taking my real life events and turning them fictional. Reasons where my character Jinx and Evelyn come into play. That's where their names came from. And like it's a story I'm like a little cautious to post. Like I really thought about posting it, like publishing it, but I don't know. Still on the rocks about it.
Oh, and it's still in the works?
Yeah, because it still carries over to now.
It's big. Do you want
Yeah.
to talk about the name Jinx later, or do you want to just talk about it quickly
We
now?
can talk about it now.
Yeah, sure.
Jinx is the original name for me. It's only recently that it's been Evelyn with everybody because Hung calls me
Mm-hmm.
that. So everybody just knows me by Evelyn. But Jinx was basically the one character that got me back into League. Um, I just loved like the crazy personality, and then like just the music video in general. Like I just loved the character. Like I mained her for a while, but like I don't play her anymore. But like it's just everybody knows me by Jinx now. Like Jinx in my old group of friends, so it's like, well, can't really change it. Evelyn has been just a name that Hung has given me, so I'm just like, I'm gonna stick to it.
Mm-hmm. How about Endless, since we're talking
Oh,
on your name for Twitch?
actually, Endless is the name of the book.
Oh, your book?
Mm-hmm.
Or okay.
It Endless. It's called Endless. We were. Ironically, this was the first group of friends I had. Um, this was also a group of friends that I learned, um, that I was gonna lose friends in the future. So this was like kind of like ironic because endless. Your group of friends just end friendships. What about status? Tim, you know I made that on the spot.
Another one?
No, it was just my name before on Valorant was Sadist Jinx, and that was because the person I mained later on in League is named Evelyn, and she's a sadistic demon, and I just played her, so I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna use this name instead.
Mm-hmm. Jeez.
But I changed it to Evelyn because it makes everything more simple and nobody questions it.
Let's talk about your transition from elementary to middle school then, since you said it was kind of different from what you expected, right?
Yeah. Um, from elementary to middle, I thought I was going to the middle school that was built behind my elementary with my cousins, and I assumed that we were gonna have classes together. That wasn't the case. My dad surprised me with, "You're going to a private school, and it's the one near where I live now." Um, Private school, a whole lot of shit went down in private school. Um, do I talk about like all the years of middle, or do
Yeah,
I
of
just talk?
course. You could talk
Oh,
and be as detailed as you'd like, and you could definitely mention stories too, to give us a
okay.
better understanding of what you went through.
This is where shit started to go down. From elementary to middle, I went through a teacher who didn't like me because he and another student just didn't like me. So basically, she told him that she didn't like me because I liked his son, or I mentioned I liked his son. And so he basically bullied me to a point I got a C in the class because he didn't care. Obviously, because he had this one student that was fawning over him. And if she says she didn't like me, he just fucks up my grade. This was like the first time I ever got a C in a class. Um, yeah, like this is sixth grade, first year in. I I didn't understand why he didn't like me. Um, I didn't understand until after, and then I found out really inappropriate stuff went down, and I was like, this guy didn't get fired or arrested until he went to the next school. Then he did the same shit with another student, and I was like, and this girl now, when we graduated, she was still proud of it. She didn't give a fuck, and I was like, okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And during like my sixth grade year, this is a Christian school, by the way. So on Wednesdays, you girls had to wear white knee socks, or if you didn't, you get detention, by the way. The right shoes, a button down, and a skirt. You always had to wear a skirt. Guys had to wear pants. Girls had to wear a skirt. I basically was forced into Christianity because if you like up until like eighth grade, if you weren't a Christian, they basically told you that you were gonna go to hell or nobody will protect you. So in a way, I was kind of forced into Christianity. You know, like Bible class.
Mm-hmm.
You Bible class is the only reason my GPA was so high because it counted. Like that's the only reason I appreciated that class was because it counted towards GPA. Um, Moving on to seventh grade. Seventh grade, I had a lot of things go down. I lost a couple friends. Like my parents have always told me to be friends with guys because in their eyes they think guys don't cause the most drama. Um, they basically told me just to be friends with guys, and obviously I have this group of guys that I always was friends with. I have one childhood friend and two to three other guys that I hanged out with, and I knew what they were going through. I knew one like grew up needing to go to therapy, so I always kept an eye on him. I always made sure he took his medicine, checked in on him because, you know, as a friend who's older, my instinct, because I never had brothers and sisters, was to protect my friend. Reasons like now, like whenever my friend posted some status that is very offsetting, I'm like, okay, I gotta go check up on them. Or like when a friend is done streaming, I'm always like, look, good stream, like you did really well today. Because I don't think anybody else goes out of their way to say that to somebody. So obviously I always go out of my way to be like, hey guys, you did a great job on stream. Hey, like if like when my friends had medicine they needed to take, I always like set a reminder on my phone to be like, hey, remind them. And I feel like total shit when I don't remind you. And like, yeah, you could say it's okay, but in my mind, I'm like, in my mind before I was like, I wish I was awake to tell them to take their medicine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like this was like from middle school, and then eighth grade nothing much not a lot happened in eighth grade, like a lot of relationships. I'm sure we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, like not much happened in middle school, like maybe a couple things here and there, but it wasn't as brutal as high school was gonna be. High school, I got 1 year, which was my freshman year, to breathe, and then I was suffocated for the rest of 3 years after that. But yeah, like from elementary to middle, it was like, oh, you jump into a new school, your teacher doesn't fucking like you, you had the Bible basically shoved down your throat. So it's like, you thought you were gonna be free when you entered middle school, but you enter a whole different school and you're like, I know like 4 people. And around this time, I lost my childhood friend because he just thought he was cooler than me, cooler than everybody else. He cussed me out over Skype.
Oh
And
no.
he lives down the street from me now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I call this guy the leader of the group too. So, yeah. Basically, that's been my like elementary to middle school, and then high school is pretty heavy. So
So
yeah.
before we get into high school, then, any specific memories you want to talk about, like your favorite memories? I'm
Of middle
assuming,
school,
yeah, I'm assuming you were also writing in middle school, right?
I was writing a lot in middle
And
school. I
were you
actually have a
still
ton
playing
of notebooks.
games?
Yeah, I was
Mm-hmm.
playing League. um, yeah. I think my writing got more brutal in middle school because I have no mercy on my characters in my story. Like my main character, she goes through a lot because I went through a lot.
Yeah.
That's where she built it from.
So the bulk of it is in high school, you're saying?
Yeah, like the really big, like 18 plus goes into high school.
Okay. Yeah, if you feel like you're done talking about your elementary and middle school life, we could definitely get into that high school.
High school. Hmm.
Take
Give
your
me a
time too.
second. Yeah, give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Andy. Um, High school. My freshman year was the year I started not caring as much. Like, I'll be honest with you, I failed the quiz, and the lowest you can get in this history class, because I'm sucking at history, is a 25%, basically a 0 in that class, right? I started laughing at that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you know, like, my caring just stopped, because I accept the low grades because I know I didn't study, you know? Like, you kind of be like, okay, it's a smack to the hand, like, yeah, you didn't study, but like, here you go, here's your grade. I think ninth grade was when things started getting, no, not ninth grade, 10th grade was when things started getting real.
Is this a public school or a private school?
This is a private school. Like I'm through this private school, like the same private school up until I graduated.
Oh, so that Christian school started from
Mhm.
6th grade till you graduated.
Mhm.
Got it. Before we get into it, do you want to talk about the difference between public and private schools from your perspective?
My perspective, because I've only experienced public school in elementary, from what I hear from my friends, is that what I hear from my friends is that public school things don't get around as easy as it would in private school. That is the main difference that I've been able to tell, is that in public school there's so many people, right? My graduating class from my class was like 30 people, 30 to 50 people. So you can imagine like how little that is compared to a public high school that has like 500 kids at least, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um um like when I say like things get around easier, like my teacher was pregnant and she didn't tell anybody, but by like second period everybody knew. And she hasn't said a word to anybody. So things get around pretty quickly in a private school. Like if you say one thing, like
Mm-hmm. Word
it,
spreads like
yeah,
wildfire.
word spreads because like, okay, my house isn't big, but it's like the hallway is the length of my house, and things get around really quickly. My house isn't even that big. Like I can see like the end of the other side from where like I walk out of my room, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like my house isn't big. It's only big because it's tall, but that's really it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much the difference. Like I noticed in private school and public school is like word gets around faster in public. I mean private. Like public, it takes a good chunk of time for it to get around. Unless you like know the right people, then it's like, oh, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you could talk about high school then. Go ahead.
Uh, okay.
Whatever you want to talk about. Don't feel pressured to say anything you don't want to talk deeply into.
So I will give you guys a warning. There is a lot of death related, a lot of mental illness. So if you guys get triggered by those things, please just dial this out or whatever, because I don't want anybody getting triggered. I went through all these things basically by myself, so just a key warning. Like, it's just my warning to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
10th grade. Okay. 10th grade, I was friends with these this group of seniors, and it was three of them. One of them was a brother to one of my friends, like my in the same grade friends. Um, Basically during my 10th grade year, I had to deal with my friend who was gay. Um, my school trying to turn me against him, saying like you should claim that he said he's gay to get him suspended, basically. And I'm just like, excuse me? What? Like, they were trying to get him suspended for being gay, for being him, basically. Because again, it is a Christian school, and you know, they were trying to I had to deal with him having mental breakdowns constantly and like being a shoulder for him to lean on because he had nobody else to lean on. There was people that basically stopped being friends with him because they didn't want to get in trouble with authority, basically. And I was just like, look, I understand that they're trying to turn you, like, get you out of the school. But just finish out the school year. This is your senior year, dude. Like, I'm always going to be here for you. You have this group of friends who is always going to be here for you. Just finish this out strong. Like, I believe in you to finish this out. Every day I come in, I would always bring him like a coffee that my dad made because, you know, it's like less expensive than going out to like get it. But I always brought him a coffee. I always like peeked my head into classrooms because like the thing is, if you're a favorite student or a student that's well respected in the community, in the school, you can do whatever the fuck you want, basically. You can roam around or whatever. And so I do get scolded for roaming, but like I do go in and like check up on him. I do walk all the way downstairs to the second floor to go be like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, is everything all right?" Like, just doing my normal checkup on him because I know nobody else is gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I had to deal with that. And then I will tell you, I have a very bad fear of somebody driving me. Reasons why I debate on driving to California, because not like I don't trust you, not like I don't trust anybody else who I'm going to meet up with at TwitchCon. It is because I have this genuine fear of somebody else driving me.
Yeah.
And it's because during my 10th grade year, my friend, she got killed by another classmate in a car accident.
Like as a passenger, you mean?
Yeah, and basically I see this ramp every time I go see my grandparents. It used to have one sign that says go 25 miles because you're going like up a curve, right?
Mm-hmm.
The person driving was going 106.
Wow.
And sadly, my friend died because of that. And basically, I saw this accident on the news, and when this girl got released, her first concern isn't, I killed my friend. Her first concern was, I don't get to go on the cruise because they took her passport away. And I was like, that is when the genuine fear of people started coming in, because I'm like, this girl didn't give a fuck that she just killed her friend. She cares more about a trip that she can't go on than the friend she just fucking killed.
Mm-hmm.
No concern about where's my friend or whatever. You care more about a trip than the person you just fucking murdered, basically. And so, like, I tell you, before I even found out what was happening, I was worrying my ass off about the 4 seniors that I knew, because this accident caused us not to have a senior skip day because it happened on senior skip day
This is when you were. Are you talking
in
about
10th
you?
grade.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
sophomore.
this was sophomore year, and I had to deal with my friend trying, like, almost being suspended for being gay, and then having to deal with this accident. Like, I couldn't function. Like, there was no like capability of me sitting there being like, I just had to deal with like people crying around me constantly. Like, I was just like, I didn't know how to handle it, because for myself, I'm like, yeah, this was like the first girl I ever talked to. Now she's gone. She's not there anymore. But now it's like, you have to deal with her friends, her whole senior class. Like, I'm friends with everybody, dude. Like, unless you hate me for some odd reason, I'm always gonna be friendly to you. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna ignore you. Like, that's just not me. And so, yeah, I had to deal with that. And at that point, when the girl said that she cared about a cruise, it wasn't sad anymore. It was more like anger started building up inside me.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can see why anger built up inside, because I basically lost a friend because you just decided to be stupid. And the reason we found out she was going 106 was because she was on Snapchat too while driving. Like, I
Jeez.
laugh about it now, but it's like, it's just my way to cope about like just controlling how I feel. Is that I tend to like smile and laugh because
Mm-hmm.
this is the reason my fear of driving came into play. Like, I don't like driving personally. Like, I'll drive because everybody's drove me places, but I refuse. Like, even if I had a boyfriend, I would refuse to let him drive me for a couple months because I don't trust him. Like, I trust him like in relationship status, but I can't trust you with my life like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this fear is too heavy on me. And so, yeah, that was like my 10th grade year. And then I had to deal with other like natural cause death during that year. Like, my mom lost her best friend that has been my godmother. So, yeah, it's been a little rough my 10th grade year. So had to fight through that alone. Like I told my mom about it. I was like, Mom, I need to go home. And yeah.
Mhm.
So
So before you move on, do you want to talk more on like, let's start with your gay friend.
yeah.
Do you want to talk about anything specific about like who he was like, what he was like, and if you're
He
still
was
friends?
we are still friends. We
Mhm.
never ended on a bad note. It was more like he needed space to figure his life out. Like when we talked, whenever I talk to any friend that's going into their senior year or whenever they're going to college, or because I'm in college now, we do talk about our future, our plans, because yeah, normal shit. And he always was confused on what he wanted to do. Like at one point he wanted to be a dancer, at one point he wanted to be a singer, at one point he wanted to be a it was just switching. Like I don't remember what he switched to mainly. Like he was just always confused. And I told him, I was like, you don't have to go to college. Don't make everybody around you like say you have to go to college. Because college isn't for everybody. I'm not saying like if you don't go to college you're fucking dumb. Like no. No, let nobody say that to you. I'm saying like if you don't know what you're doing, if you go to college, then don't go. Like work to save up, work to invest, do something with your life until you know or have a genuine idea what you want to do. Don't waste your money in college, waste your time when you just don't know where you're going. That's my opinion on how I always talk to him is like, don't let society be like, if you don't go to college, you're dumb. It's expensive. Don't waste your time. Make use of your time going to work, saving up money, investing. Just build a future for yourself, build a backup plan. Because I think like those who go to college now sometimes don't even know what they're doing. Like I went to college because I know I wanted to go into mechanical engineering. I know I wanted to go hands-on, go into Tesla, go into SpaceX. Like that's my end goal. And streaming is just like it just wherever it goes with that, it'll go there. But my main goal is to be working for Tesla and SpaceX, not because of the money, it's because I want to make this world better for people in the future. Because, like I'm here, I might as well try to fix whatever my past generations fucked up. Just try to make it better for like the people in the future. Like how my dad says it is like, do something that helps the world. Don't do something that is selfish, basically. And
Okay.
yeah.
So that was the other friend.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk more on what your friend was like, the one that passed away from the accident?
Yeah, like she wasn't.
She was a senior, right? You said?
Yeah, she was senior. It was her senior
And
year
that
when this happened.
the girl that drove was also in your school?
Yeah, she was also a senior.
Okay.
The friend that passed away, we weren't exactly like insanely close, but we were more. She was more of a person that if you walked up to her, she'll talk to you, and like if you're a new student, she'll go around showing you everything. She'll introduce you to everybody. She was more like the outgoing, like let me show you around person, like the person that you would end up shadowing if anything. And she was really nice. Like she showed you around, obviously she talked to you, and yeah, she was a really chill person. I loved her. She was a really great person. Like you don't see her not smiling unless it's like stress of tests, but like that's an obvious,
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my other friend.
Okay. You could continue on from where you left off. I guess
yeah.
finishing up your sophomore year.
Yeah, that's the ending of my sophomore year. That had happened towards the end. 11th grade was where a lot of stuff started to pick up. Like a lot of I have a genuine fear of girls. This is Okay, all the girls in the chat now, like we're friends, okay? Like my genuine fear of girls like decreased after I met you guys, okay? Like it's not there anymore, but
Yeah.
at the time, like this is when this is like where my genuine fear of girls started to like come fruition, you know? Like it started becoming more apparent. This was how do I explain this? I have this one friend that I had since 6th grade, and I introduced her to a new girl recently that joined the school. I don't like dropping names because this is public. Okay. So
Yeah, no need.
yeah, so basically, this is in Bible class. Again, everything happens in Bible class for some reason. But basically she's a manipulator. She took advantage of two of my friends who had depression. My friend since I was young, like 6th grade, one of the guys that I knew went to therapy and all, she took advantage of his depression, and she took advantage of the other girl who had depression. I knew what my friend was going through, like my male friend was going through. Therapy became more apparent. He didn't take his meds at all. You can see his like grades like going down, and then like he slept a lot more in class. Like the thing is like I can tell what's wrong with him just by looking at him, because as a friend who's been with you for so long, I can tell the difference of when, oh yeah, I'm taking a nap, to this isn't just a nap. Somebody drove me basically to a point that I just want to sleep forever. And so they started dating, quote unquote, after they kicked me out of the little friend group. And like I started seeing like his happiness slowly fade away. Like his jokes started becoming less, and then he just stopped talking in general around her. Like whenever he was with her, he just stopped talking. And like being a person who still cares, I was so scared for what was happening, because I'm just like, what is going on? You're not talking to me, you're not doing anything. Like, what is going on? And the other girl seemed fine. Like, it seemed like nothing was going on. But this happened over Christmas, where my friend's brother, who graduated already, came over to my house to drop off a gift. And he said, hey, by the way, the girl that she's friends with is in the hospital. And I'm like, say what? And he goes on to explain to me that when they were on this app called House Party, they basically, the main girl who's the manipulator basically made a suicide pact and pretended to take pills and watch the other girl take pills, and did not call the ambulance. She didn't do anything. She just watched her friend do it. The girl's alive, luckily, but you know, hearing that, it's like, this girl's fucking crazy, you know? She's psychotic. So I'm just like, I had this genuine fear of girls at that point, because I'm just like, I was friends with this person. I was close friends with this person. I didn't tell her everything, obviously. Like, every time she mentioned coming to my house, I had this gut feeling of like, do not invite her to your house. Do not tell her where you live. Do not tell her anything. Just say that your parents don't want her to come over. Which I told her. She got pissed every time I did it. I can see why my parents didn't want me to invite her over. So my 11th grade year was spent being in fear of this one girl that I was friends with for 4 to 5 years. So I'm just like, okay, that's nice to know. I was also very pissed that she took advantage of my friend who was depressed already, and she drove him even more into depression. So I was just like,
While they were dating, you mean?
yeah, they were dating. She kind of forced him to date her. And yeah, like that was my 11th grade year of like just dealing with like a crazy, like a girl who took advantage of what information she knew and used it against somebody. Just, I don't like her. She's just crazy. It's like I don't even consider her a friend. I consider her as like somebody I just know that exists. Like she never got arrested after that. She didn't get in trouble or anything. And you know what? They were friends after that. The girl who was in the hospital and the girl who did it. They were still friends after. And I was like, how are you still friends with this person that basically tried to kill you? And you know, I mean, like they're not friends now is from what I know. Like I met this girl recently at Starbucks. She works at Starbucks and she's living her life. She's living a better life now without knowing her, which I'm glad. You know, better to separate. But I haven't seen them like after 11th grade year. Like after that year, I didn't see them until I seen the girl who was in the hospital recently at Starbucks. But that's pretty much 11th grade year. And so 11th grade year was the year I was like, yeah, I'm not trusting a single soul in this school at this rate.
Yeah.
My 12th grade year. I will be honest with you guys. My 12th grade year, my senior year, I spent 99% of that year crying. From the first day of school to the very last day of school, I spent crying. I don't think I've lost more hair than I did in that school. So basically 12th grade year, I honestly thought that 12th grade year was gonna be like, you know, chill year, you know, you get to leave early as a senior, you get to drive yourself to school, you get to pick your parking spot, like, you know, all the exciting things, like you're getting ready for graduation, all you do is take like online dual enrollment classes or whatever, right? And go home, nothing else. So I go in on my first day of school, and first day of school, already something bad happened. My laptop overheated and died on me in my first class. So it was already like a rough start to the first day of school because like all my classes were online. What was I supposed to do for like the whole day? First day in English class, it was my second period, and my friend who, you know, was into that relationship, he's better now. He sits right in front of me, and he turns around and tells me that my friend might have gotten the girl pregnant that he was with. And I was like, say what? And he was like, yeah, she says like 5 months or something. And I'm like, huh? And he's like, just don't tell her. Like, wait until she tells you. And I'm like, I'm normally a type of person who likes to confront people, especially into my senior year. So I was like, I guess I'll give it some time, but like if it gets out of hand, like I'm gonna talk to her about it. I give it some time. Like fast forward to lunch, like a week into school, like she tells me, and I'm just like, okay. I look at her, like obviously at 5 months, you're like, you have like a stomach, like it's a human being, you know. It's not like a food baby that goes away. It's like a human being that's growing inside you, right? She was flat. Like her stomach, she was basically like a stick. No offense, but like she was basically like a stick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, that's odd. So my friend obviously doesn't know about this. This is a different guy in the group. Doesn't know about this at all. He doesn't know about this until it ended, which was 4 months later. So he's clueless during those 4 months. That's reasons why I'm like good at hiding some dramas from people. Basically during these 4 months, I am going back and forth with this girl. Like she pulls me into the bathroom during lunch, and like I'm obviously like pissed off because I'm like so done with this conversation. And she's like, I don't want to tell him. And I'm thinking in my head, it's like, It's because you're not actually pregnant. That's the reason you don't want to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because, oh, you're scared that he won't want the baby. It's because you're not actually pregnant. I know, because you told me 5 months, you told my friend 5 months, you told Gabe 3 months. So it's like, where are you going with this story? And like, when I say everybody knows me in that school, everybody literally went to me every time she told a lie. And they wanted to tell me. And I'm just like, honey, I get around to people. It is not that hard. Hold on, my dad's here.
No worries. Do your thing.
What's up? No. Talking about you.
Shrimpy gang, Yumi? What? Yinji, hello, welcome in. Welcome into everyone. I'm good.
So, honey, I get around to people. Yeah. Yeah, basically like I basically knew everything up until like we graduated. And when my friend found out, you know what he said? Why did you get involved? You ruined my life. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm the one who had to endure it for 4 months, going back and forth with authority. And you say I ruined your life? Okay. So, I lost a friend that day because of this shit that I kept from him, you know, trying to protect him if she was to have a kid, you know. I guess being a good friend was not in his quota.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, fuck it, whatever. And I only tell you, I went to 2 dances during my entire high school career. Not high school, I went to 2 dances when I was at the school. One dance, which was homecoming during my 6th grade year, my first year, and I went to my last dance, which was homecoming in my senior year. I didn't go to prom or anything.
Is this a new, like, story?
No. Like,
Okay.
this is just, like, in general. Like, what
Got it.
happened during homecoming was basically, he told me to fuck off after she kept pestering me to talk to him. He was like, you're not an important friend anymore. Basically, you're not my friend anymore.
Wow.
And that night, I was only happy for the slightest moment because I am so happy when it comes to my friend's success. Like, my friends used to say, like, the guys in this group used to say, they'll never have a boyfriend. Not boyfriend, a girlfriend, sorry. But they'll never have a girlfriend. And when I saw them have a girlfriend and like they introduced their girlfriend to me because they wanted me to meet them, you know, it's a slight happiness to see your friends finally dating or, you know, seeing that they actually have a girlfriend and be happy. So I was like, I had that moment of like, I'm so happy that you guys have a girlfriend. You guys step out of your boat. You found your significant other, you know? Like, I'm happy for you guys. And that was the only time I was happy that night for like 10 minutes. And I was miserable for like the rest of the 2 hours that I was there. Like, what I remember that night was running out to my car crying because my friend said that to me, or my ex-friend said that to me. I guess being a good friend was just not enough for him, you know? And so this was before I lost my other friend who introduced me to his girlfriend. So basically this eliminates my entire friend group. From who I knew in 6th grade, all eliminated in 1 year. The
Wow.
next friend I had, this is a new story. The next friend I lost, I pull all-nighters for this one project. It was basically a month-long project that I fit into a week, which is a stop motion project where I made the whole set I drew all the characters, every motion they made. I planned it out the story. I chose the song, everything. I edited it all in 1 week. A whole month work put into 1 week. So I didn't have to do work for the rest of the week. Basically, I spent my entire time in the art room. Wherever you needed to find me was in the art room. That's where my creativity just went wild. And so in first period, there was this one girl who is known to mess up stories. She asked me, I don't remember if she asked me about my friend's girlfriend that I met, but I met her once, you know? Like, I only met this girl once, which was like at the dance. I go into my next period, which was English, where I sit behind him, right? He turns around and asks me why I was talking shit about his girlfriend. And I've never stared at him so baffled in my life. Like, what time did I have during this week to talk shit about your girlfriend? Where are you getting this from? And he was like, you're talking about my girl's mental illness. And I'm like, I had friends who have mental illness. Why would I joke around about that? You know? And he was like, you know what? If you want to talk shit about my girlfriend and you don't remember it, then we can't be friends. And I'm like, where is the proof that I talk shit about your girlfriend? And you're believing a girl who's known to mix up her stories over your friend of like 8 years at this rate. And I'm like, where is this coming from? And I'm just like, he's like, okay. And I sat behind this guy for the whole year. The rest of the year, I'm constantly reminded that my friend just believes somebody that he wasn't close to. And I was like, okay. And so I was like, all right. And my friends convinced me to go on this Budapest trip later on in the year, where this is a new story, like in the high school.
That's your sweatshirt?
Yeah. Basically, in this Budapest trip, it was only him and the chaperone who were male. Everybody else was a female. This trip was basically for us to go to Budapest and, you know, reconnect with our old classmate who we were staying with and teach the kids at the school. Like, the international school, like, we did, like, a skit for the younger kids for, like, the Bible and all that. It was fun. We get to explore the city and all. And basically, this trip also ended not ended horribly, but it had a sad ending at the end. I'm gonna try to get through this part because it is very painful for me. So this was at the beginning of COVID, so like February 2020, around January 2020. My friend took her life, and she was only 13. This was happening when I was in a different country. This only hurt me the most because I basically raised her like my kid, or like at least my sister. Because when we first met,
Take your time. Yeah, you can take your time. You can talk about, yeah, how you guys met.
Basically when we met, she was like 13 or 14, and it was almost her birthday. So if any of you know anything about K-pop, you know their albums are like straight $25 each. I bought her a cake. Like, I have this video. I bought her a $50 cake when we first met her, and a bunch of albums. And I have a plushie that I bought her too. Yeah, like, every time my friends came over, I always made them lunch and dinner because, like, that's around the time they come around. And this was like the first group of friends that were all girls that my parents approved of to sleep over, be around me and everything. So this group of friends are still with me to this day. And They're very important to me as a person. Uh, yeah. So she took her life when we were on the trip. And this is the one time that me and my friend, who chose his girlfriend over me, we actually hugged and we cried together in the rain outside the restaurant. Like, I have this restaurant in my highlights, like reasons I skip past it every time. But it was in this restaurant, and the only time after he chose his girlfriend over me that we interacted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole trip, we were quiet to each other. Not quiet, like, I would say some words to him, but like, it was mainly quiet between us. And people found it weird because we were always attached to each other. Like, we were basically like brother and sister. Whenever something weird happened, we would always glance at each other, then look back at the person. Like, you know, normal brother sister stuff. So this moment was like the one I hated that it not costed, but it had to be a friend's life being taken for us to start talking again. And I don't care how much somebody has hurt me. This will be just part of the personality thing. Reasons I didn't want to mention it earlier. When he got sick towards the end of this trip, my concerns went up because again it's COVID, so I'm scared that he won't get past the border people. I basically made him take all these medicines like after he ate and when he woke up, and be like, hey, make sure you have your passport and everything. Take this medicine before we leave. Take this medicine before you go to bed tonight so that you can feel better in the morning. Like, yes, we have a rough ending to our friendship, but that doesn't mean that I have to act like a bitch to you. You know? And so that was my senior year because after we got home from Budapest, we were shot into lockdown. So I spent my entire last few months of high school just sitting in my room doing nothing, isolated. And that drove me insane because I couldn't see my friends, I couldn't see my classmates, couldn't spend like a couple months last with them. I still worry about them today sometimes because like some of them just never did their homework, and you know, college isn't lenient about that. So I do tend to always think back on my classmates, like I hope they're doing well even though we don't get along or we don't talk. Like, I hope you're doing well in life. And then 2020 on Christmas, I lost a childhood friend to the same reason I lost my friend in February. So I took 2 hits in the same year of being constantly reminded. So reasons like my emotions were spiking during isolation is because I had to keep all this to myself. Like, every time my parents asked, do you want to go to therapy, I always say no because I didn't feel this depression wave come over me. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be okay. I'll be fine. I'm not suffering depression like a lot of other people. I'll be okay. Or so I thought I was gonna be okay. Yeah, that was my senior year, pretty much. Well, the main parts of my senior year. So, up until now, I've been more open about my problems. I'm not really ashamed of my past of dealing with a lot of death and mental illness and all that. So, yeah, it's pretty much school life so far that isn't college.
Okay, so specific questions based on what you've told me and everyone. What was it like graduating within COVID? Like, was it all just taken online or something?
No, we actually showed up physically for it.
With family too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
It was outside and it was around 30 people graduating, 30
Mhm.
to 50 people graduating. Honestly, it felt really sad because we didn't get the full treatment that everybody else got.
Mhm.
We got an hour or two of us being announced. Not even what we were going into, just announced our name, walking across that stage, sitting down, throwing our hats. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else. It was out in the hot blazing sun. I didn't get to see any of my classmates after that. Like
Mhm.
some of them didn't even bother showing up because they were scared. Again, I don't blame them because it's COVID. We didn't know much about it like we do now.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was. I don't know. I felt it was pretty depressing. Even though I was able to graduate physically, unlike some people, I still felt it was pretty depressing.
Mhm. So how about sports and activities? Did you like join
I
anything?
was I was the basketball manager for like
Mhm.
2 years. For 2 years, I took care of the same team twice. Like uh not only getting like their drinks, their energy drinks and their food or snacks, I paid for dinner sometimes when some of them couldn't pay, or got their inhalers and made sure they had medicine and like knew how to bandage them. I even made them Christmas gifts one year. So like the seniors would have something to remember me by, and like just have somebody that, I don't know, a manager who just didn't do it for community hours, like a manager who sat there and cared about you, you know?
Yeah. How'd you get into
Yeah.
that?
My coach dragged me into it.
Oh.
My health teacher my health teacher was like, you can always get community hours by being a manager. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. Shouldn't be that bad, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot actually, like being out late with my classmates and taking care of them, getting to know them. And they called me Mama Jinx at one point
And you
because
would
they
like
knew my.
travel with them too?
Yeah, I would travel with them too.
Nice.
I think that's why the Mama Jinx thing never really bothers me, because like I do take care of people.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, they didn't say Mama Jinx, but they said Mama Ananda, or just mom in general. Like basketball mom.
Yeah.
Like I didn't take care of only the girls, because like girl is only supposed to take care of the girls. I took care of varsity girls, varsity boys, and then junior varsity boys.
Oh, okay.
Like they had their own assigned manager, but none of them cared as much as I did.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Any other clubs, activities throughout your entire
I
school
joined
year?
an anime club, but that didn't really go anywhere. We literally just sat in a classroom and watched anime. That's really it with the anime club. But I wasn't as involved as I was with basketball.
Mhm.
That's my love for basketball came in.
How about your academics? How were you throughout your entire like
I
school
was an
life?
average A B student.
Mhm.
Mm, Not like, I wasn't like try hard like get A's. I was like, oh, if I get a if I get a B, I don't really care. If I get a C, I'm just like, eh. you know,
Yeah.
it's just a casual. I'm like, if I studied, I study. If I didn't study, I'm like, okay, I'll take the bullet.
Mhm.
I paid the price for my procrastination.
Were your
But yeah,
parents ever involved with your academics?
no,
Oh,
my
okay.
parents just let me do whatever I
Hands
did.
off. Yeah.
They trusted me to be independent
Mhm.
enough to know right from wrong. So yeah.
And speaking on your parents, how did they handle discipline?
Discipline, I only gotten grounded twice in my life, and they were both for a year. I got
A
grounded
year?
for yeah, I got grounded for 1 year in 5th grade because my grades were failing, and then I got grounded uh not well, the second one wasn't for a year, but the second one was for like half a year.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got grounded for half a year during my 10th grade year. No, not 10th grade, ninth grade.
Okay. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, my the only time I was able to get on the computer was to do homework, and my dad was sitting right next to me whenever I did it.
Hmm.
So,
What was your high school stereotype then? What would you classify yourself as?
Naba, go to restroom. No, my mom's in the
It's okay.
my dog's asleep.
Dog's up now.
Trying to get him to go to the restroom.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't waking up.
Mhm.
But yeah, go back to the question.
What's your high school stereotype? What would you classify
This,
yourself as? Like,
for me,
yeah, for you personally.
the typical Asian who likes anime.
Okay.
That's how I can describe the stereotype anybody describes me.
That's an answer. So, have you personally ever encountered bullying of any sort?
It doesn't have to be towards myself, right?
No, it does
Or-
not.
Yes, a lot actually. It was mainly towards my gay friend, and
Mhm.
then towards my one of my personal friends in my like that 4-man group.
Yeah.
Gay friend, obviously, you know the reason.
Mhm.
And I just had to, like, every time I heard it, I was like, hey, don't talk shit about him, you know? Because, like, you don't treat people like that if you don't want to be treated like that yourself. My other friend, I think some people just like to make fun of mental illness and think it's okay. And that really pisses me off a lot because I've had friends who go through it. So I'm just like, please don't make fun of him. Please don't make jokes that encourage him to feel the way he does.
Mhm.
It's just not right in my eyes. But that's like the only bullying I've encountered. I think like the typical, you know, like if you like a girl, you bully her. That's what I saw in high school a lot, which I feel like is very childish. Like, you mistreat a girl because you like her. Like, I had this guy because we were in drama class, and he stole her script, or like she was trying to pull like her script from this guy. And so, being, you know, the person who doesn't care what her like outlook like to be girly or whatever, I basically yanked the paper, like the paper, the script, and him over a desk because I wanted it back for her. And I was like, you can let go or I can continue dragging you over this desk and maybe you'll rethink of going into football. Because if a girl can drag you over this desk, you're gonna get free, like just knocked over in football. And that's the
Jeez.
only like that was the only encounter I had with somebody.
Mhm.
Like physical encounter I've had with a guy. And this guy, like, I'm still friends with after high school, surprisingly. Even though
Yeah.
that's our main like headbutting.
Mhm.
But yeah. That's really it. It's not like it's just the typical bullying and standing up for somebody.
Yeah.
But I think that's all the bullying I've ever endured in high school. Not towards myself because I had no like I was pretty quiet. I
Mhm.
said my opinion. Nobody, everybody knew I didn't care.
Yeah. And you were never involved in like any fights.
Mm-mm.
Have you sustained any injuries throughout your lifetime?
Yeah, 2 embarrassing ones. Do
It's on
you
you
mind
if
if
you
I
want.
share?
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
share if you want.
Okay. The first one was basically, you know this office chair right here? Like you can lean back on it, right? And it like goes up like back
Yeah.
or whatever. When I was younger, like elementary school, I stuck my toe up it when my uncle leaned back and he clamped down on it. So I had like six doctors hold me down as I was getting it like um stitched or whatever. And that was like the first injury I've ever had to myself. The second injury was when I accidentally, you know how people like peel an orange like in the spin way, like just like wrapping it around type the skin. I cut myself right here, and I started
Yeah.
crying, and I was like, "Grandma," and she just like cleaned it up and pressed like a paper towel and like just wrapped my entire hand up, and I was like, well, I'm never going near a knife again. I still do, but I'm never going near a
Ouch.
knife again.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm not peeling an orange ever again in my life. That was like the only two injuries I've ever had. Yeah, throughout my
It's
life,
not
I haven't had
embarrassing.
like I've never had like a broken arm or broken leg or a concussion like most of my classmates did, which I'm glad, because I don't want that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright, finishing high school questions. What would you say is like the biggest positive of your whole like high school experience?
Um, I would say the biggest positive is that I don't think I would have been the person I am today without all the pain that I went through.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I quote, and I take this from somebody's stream because he agrees with me, is that if you haven't gone through pain emotionally at least once in your life, you're living way too perfect of a life. Like like, I think whatever you go through, like this pain that put me, it makes who I am as a person, and not just, just being there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could sit there and be, um, I don't think I could have gone through high school without going through everything I did. Like, I don't think I would have been the person I am now without going through what I did. Like, it sucks, but, shit happens. Like that. Like, you can't really control what happens in life. Really.
Yeah. So, throughout your time, you mentioned how you kept a lot of this to yourself and you felt alone. Do you have like a reason for that? What would you say that is?
With my group of friends, I shared very little what happened in my life to them because I don't want them. To me, I don't want people to hear the repeat of, I'm scared, or I'm sad over the same thing. Like, there's some people I don't share these things to because I feel like they're too busy, or we're just not close enough for me to tell you, or you just don't have the time to comprehend what I'm telling you fully. So I normally I shut my mouth and listen to you instead of telling what's going on in my mind the most.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't mind sharing it now. Like, if I'm feeling sad, I have a group of girls that I go to, and I tell them like, hey, I'm feeling a bit sad over X, Y, and Z, and they understand like, okay, we have to be there for her because, that's our friend. Which I'm glad. Like, I've never had female friends that are able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I keep it to myself because I think it's a burden to people to tell it.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about mental health, how do you feel as of now?
I feel a bit happier ever since I started getting on Twitch again. Like, I haven't been involved in Twitch as much as I was. Like, comparing it to like when I started, I wasn't involved in Twitch. Like, I wasn't out here going out looking for small streamers to talk to or whatever, right? I was just here. I was just like, I'm gonna wait, make a Twitch. Streamed for like 2 or 3 months, and then gave up. basically.
Yeah, we'll talk about Twitch for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But my mental health is it's a bit better now, meeting everybody and like, streaming.
Yeah.
It's a bit better. It makes me a little bit happier to do what I'm doing
Hmm. And
and
lastly, oh, sorry, go ahead.
and having a degen life.
Okay. So, lastly, about mental health, is there anything you want to tell everyone about it? Maybe advice or your thoughts about it?
Mom. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I would say like if you feel there is something wrong with your friend or they've informed you that they're going through something, at least check up on them at least once every now and then because they appreciate that a lot. And just always be there to be a listening ear, but don't try to play like you can fix everything because I tried that. It doesn't go good with your health at all. So I would say just be there for your friend, but once you know it's like it gets to a point you should really inform them like, hey, you should probably go see a doctor or get some help because unless you're going into that field or you are in that field, I would suggest not putting it all on yourself because it takes a toll on your health, like heavily takes a toll on you. But yeah,
Hmm.
that's all my advice is on mental health.
Great. So, let's transition from high school into college. Talk about how you decided to attend where you're attending now and what it's been like.
Um, okay. In high school, senior year, I've only applied to 3 schools. One was the one I go to, which is Clayton State, then SCAD, which is an art private school, and then my dream college is Georgia Tech, which is a high, um, you know, a high tech school. I'm going to Clayton because I know I can finish my core here. And freshman year, I spent by myself. I had no Zoom calls or anything. And I basically had to self-teach myself or had my friend, which is TW Bro, help me a lot in my classes.
Nice, let's
Um,
go.
and he's a really good friend. So help her cheat. Basically. But don't expose me like this time. This is going on YouTube, bro. and, and like yeah, I just had him help me and I really didn't learn anything my freshman year. Like I'm basically clueless going into my second year now. Even though I did my second semester kind of by myself most of the time. And
Hmm.
then my summer semester by myself again. So I don't know. It's been pretty rough with the whole COVID situation where I just didn't have a teacher like at all the whole time. But now it's great. Like I get to go to class, actually do my homework, and you know see people and interact with people. So it makes me feel at least alive at a rate. Like I'm going out, at least going to classes and seeing people instead of seeing them through a screen or through an email.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's like college is a lot more chill than it was made in high school. And high school just like hyped it up for what it wasn't. But
You're
yeah.
in mechanical engineering. Hmm.
Yeah.
Have you always wanted to do that? Or, like, what made you decide to go for that?
I think it was more like I wanted to like decide on a career that wanted to like be in the future. So in a way my dad helped me decide my career choices. Uh he basically like my dad's a Tesla fanboy my uncle is too. So they're like, you should go into Tesla or SpaceX, like something that will help you in the future, like something that will be big in the future, or at least have a bigger impact on the future. Like, don't you can go into architecture, but what is that going to do in the future? Like, they just started helping me think, like during my sophomore year, like, hey, think about the future, like what will be in the future technology, right? Think of what majors are in technology, like don't you can do whatever you want basically. They gave me the free will, but they helped me think like, hey, think about the future, what will be in the future. Don't think of something that is just what you want to do and you'll just like it and be comfortable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there anything
Right.
else you want to talk on in regards to school, or should we
No.
move on? Okay. Let's talk about your work experience. So, could start with the first one and lead up to whatever you're doing now.
What do you mean?
Oh, just work? Any work
Just work?
experience? Yeah.
The work experience I have is nail tech
Mm-hmm.
because my parents run a nail salon. So right now I went from doing like nails for kids to like doing pedicures and stuff for adults. And so um yeah, like it is a different experience, a little bit more stressful because like some people are get very irritated at us for either going too fast or just not being like top tier. And I'm just like, we're just a local nail salon, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always like this work does help me be like, okay, how to run a business and how to handle certain people. Like not everybody's gonna be perfect. Be like, oh, thank you. Like, it's like there's gonna be some really rough customers. There's gonna be some customers who think they're entitled and all that. So, like, this work experience is rough because like I'm constantly bending my back to like look and do pedicures and all, but like knowing how to talk to people and interact with people, it's something I learned from it. Like just knowing how to handle people in general.
Mm-hmm. Is this a full-time job you're doing right now, or what?
It's part time. I only go in Saturdays because that's when it's the busiest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you got into it because of your parents. So were they the ones that taught you everything that you know?
Yeah. My mom taught me everything I knew.
Nice. Since you mentioned like customer service in general, do you want to give us any specific stories? Because I'm sure there's a lot dealing with different people.
Okay. I feel like half of them are just disgusting more. So I'm not gonna mention them because I feel like some of you are I don't want to do that to you guys. But
Those are the best ones, or what?
no, no. Um so there was this one lady that came into our shop one night and it was like towards the end and we get busy at like if it's not busy during the morning, it's busy at the end of the day. That's how it works, right? She comes in and she's like, you made my daughter's nails too long. And keep in mind, she wasn't in the shop, so technically her daughter she just made the decision herself.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just staring, like, this was like when I was in like my sophomore year. So I was just staring at this woman, like I knew what the daughter wanted. I didn't do her nails, my mom was, and I was listening on it. But then like she was cussing my mom out, and then like, this happened like she came in like 2 to 3 times to get her daughter's nails shortened. And basically she cussed my dad out and she was like, go on with your Buddhist religion or whatever, like go pray to your Buddhist because I'll fuck you guys up or something like that. And I was like, and my dad was like, you know what, you can just take your money, take the refund, and never come back. You don't have to come back. I didn't ask for your business, you came to me. It's in some sense because it's like kind of blurry because I was trying to not to get angry because like this is
Yeah.
my dad showing me how to handle the situation. I don't like anybody talking bad to my dad ever.
Yeah.
That's my dad. So
Mm-hmm.
basically the daughter was really nice. It's just the mom was crazy. And she's done this more than once, is what I was told. So my dad basically threatened, like, my dad basically told her, like, if you don't, I'll call the cops on you. Like, he's had enough at this rate of this woman coming in. So he was like, if you don't leave, we'll call the cops on you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're being racist and you're causing a disturbance, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, I think, the most frustrating story. I think, like, every other story is, like, just disgusting in my case. Like, we have old people who come in who are veterinarians and they like just never had a pedicure in their life, so their nails are like like an inch long whenever you try to chop them off. And I'm like, I'm wearing like 2 sets of gloves because like I'm not trying to touch that. I am not trying to touch that disgusting inch long like nail, dude. Like I have to chop that off, and like dead skin. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of it is just like a daily occurrence, really. Most of the stories are just a daily occurrence. Like, we don't talk shit about you guys when we're sitting there, by the way. It's just, there are moments that we do, but it's not often. It's most of the time we're talking about our day or what we're gonna do after. I will tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever asked me, do you guys talk shit about you? We don't normally. Some people do. I normally don't. I normally keep those comments to myself. I don't say anything. I always tell you like it's okay. So yeah, that's my work experience. Like every Saturday, it's a busy, busy day working the 9 to 7 job,
Mm-hmm.
nonstop.
Okay, so what would you want people to know about the customer service industry and what you've gone through?
I would say, from what I know, because I don't do this myself, don't be rude to the person that is doing the service because they kind of have every right to fuck it up if you're being rude to them. And they have a right to be rude back too because you started it.
Mm-hmm.
So just don't fuck around with people who do stuff for you because they have a kind of a right to do it back to you. And that's just a fair warning. I say I don't do this myself. I treat everybody with respect and all, but
Mm-hmm.
from what I hear from certain people who are in food industry and all that, don't fuck with them because they're doing it and they're getting paid too. So yeah, don't fuck around with customer service people.
All right. So moving on to or from work, more of the social stuff. I guess aside from Twitch, what like social things have you been up to? Any parties before COVID, stuff like that? Were you ever into anything?
No, not really, because my opinion, I just don't like, because I was in a private school, I never really found interest in any of the parties they invited me to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, really, in reality, it was like country, cringy music half the time. So I just never bothered going. I just stayed home and hanged out with my friends and, like, went to family parties most of the time,
Yeah.
which I found more entertaining. Another social thing that I recently got into is that I am part of the college league team now.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully this team has a lot of potential compared to the last team. So hopefully that goes somewhere because if we win, I think we get to go to an arena in North Carolina is what I was told. So if we win this tournament that's coming up in November, I think we'll go to this arena and play there probably. So that's like the only social thing that I can technically get involved in right now. But besides that, I don't really go out partying or anything. I
Have
just
you
stay home.
have you been to like concerts?
I do go to concerts, yeah. I've been to a One Direction, a 5 Seconds of Summer concert, and I was going to a BTS one in 2020 after my graduation, but 2020 was COVID, so it was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sad because I got front row tickets, but it's okay.
Jeez.
A
So
little
talk
triggered.
talk on how you got into that league.
Into league team?
Yeah, the team for your school.
Oh, I got dragged by my friend.
And what are you exactly doing for them, and what are you seeing from them so far?
um, we only had practice last Friday, but we went 4-0 in our practices in ranked flex. Um, my support, I play ADC, so my support and I noticed me and her can jump around characters. Like we're not all like uh stuck on one character. Like we don't main one character. Like my name may be JinxEndless, but I don't main Jinx anymore. I play like every character in that category, and she plays every character in the support category. And I see that all 5 of us really do get along. Like we do joke around with each other. We do have these minor insults towards each other, or like we have good communication. Like there's not a single moment that we didn't say, oh, like this guy is not like we didn't go silent on like, oh, we see this guy bot, but we're not gonna say anything about it. Like we have like great communication with each other, and we all get along. Like there's 2 girls on the team, 3 guys. Yeah. So it's fun. All of us get along, and all of us have great knowledge of the game compared to the last team. So yeah.
Awesome. So before we move on, do you need like a break or a minute?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Mind keeping chat busy? I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
Okay.
Kev, I'm not laughing at you.
Yeah, he is. Don't lie to him.
It's just he said he needs to touch grass. I thought that was funny. You know, you're a jokester.
It is. It's
I'll be right back,
funny.
guys.
My duo needs to touch grass. That 200 level in Valorant, you need to touch some grass. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, Michelle. Sorry if I missed any questions. I saw some, but I was so busy talking. How's everybody today? I didn't get to chat because me and him were talking a lot. You're doing great, princess. Thank you. Hi, Fatima. Tell you their monitors are hefty. Ooh, let's hope they don't break on the way here. You're doing great. Thanks, Arya. I think my only concern was like crying during the high school part, really. Do you think he needs to go to the restroom with the amount of like Dr. Pepper he consumed? I'm dying so bad right now. Wait, why? Where? I just hesitate to want to get into new monitors. Oof, it'd be like that. Like if you can get to Immortal, Kev, before I do. Oof, hungover from the wedding yesterday. Oh lord. Hey, Wilson's back. Carry me. I can barely carry myself, bro.
Right. What's up, guys?
Welcome back.
Thank you. Milky, welcome in.
You guys all carry me. I'll cheer you in game. The moral support.
Okay.
I'll get to Immortal with you, Evelyn. Yeah. We'll see. I want to take somebody's certain elo. Hey, chill. You missed the whole high school section.
What's up? Chill? Welcome in. Okay, you ready to move on? So the next topic has to do with relationships and heartbreak, if there's any. So you could talk about whatever you want from the start.
Chill. I'll talk to you later. Okay. I don't know if this is gonna get you in trouble on Twitch or like on YouTube. I would say the first one, I'm not gonna mention the age difference, but it was pretty huge. It was borderline illegal. Um,
Borderline?
uh, borderline.
Okay.
Um, Basically, this was a guy in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
He was my first boyfriend, but he didn't properly ask me out reasons why I'm like, I don't kind of claim him as a boyfriend. I only did towards the end, where basically when we were dating, quote unquote, he he spoke French. So we played League because he entered my custom game that I made, and I left it open, and that's how we like got on Skype and all. But there was one night that he was talking shit about me to his friends in French when I was sitting in the call with him.
Wait, before you get into it, what's the timeline here?
This timeline is a year into us being friends slash dating or whatever he called it.
Oh, but like, what year were you in? Is this
Oh,
your first one?
I was 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He was 7 years older than I was. Yeah, I don't. There's a reason I didn't want to mention it, Wilson.
So 6th grade, got it. Oh shit.
I'm sorry, Wilson. I don't
No,
wanna
you're
get you in
fine.
trouble.
Relax. So your first, okay, when you're 11, got it. Oh gee.
Oh,
I
no.
mean, you really didn't have to say how old he was. Shit.
I did it. I
Okay.
But basically that was like the time span, like 11 to 12, 17 to 18. She does not know what borderline means. I'm
No, you're good. I just had like a different imagination in my head.
I don't really know what borderline is.
Oh god. Yeah. Continue.
But basically, he was talking shit about me in French with his friends, and basically his friends told me at one point. So I took it as, okay, you don't really treat me as like at this point I didn't even know where we stood. I was like, are we dating or like what? And then like, it was like, oh, he said we were dating, so I was like, okay, we're dating. It's okay, Evelyn, I've been there, Peach. So I basically broke it off with him. I was like, you know what? After my cousins talked to me, after, his friends talked to me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna end it here now. And so he basically, for a month straight, he cried to me, texted me, messaged me on Facebook, messaged me like iMessage, he messaged me like in League, Facebook, and everything. And I was just like, dude, you're way older than me, and I'm handling this just fine. Like, I'm just sitting here just staring at the text like, this guy's older than me, right? Right? Like, I just kept staring at my phone. Like, these are like messages of like him getting like begging me to come back to him, like saying all these cringy like League like pickup lines or whatever. And I've just never stared at my phone just baffled that this guy is actually older than me. So I was like, okay, great start to a first relationship,
Mm-hmm.
But that was like my first relationship. It basically, from what I took from that, was like, I need to get with a mature guy that I can see eye level with, Just thinking back on like the messages, just really yeah, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And then second relationship was with my childhood friend. And I will tell you, my childhood friend, he is not a bad guy. It's just how he acts. I just don't see myself being with a person like that. Um, he's from Cali, and basically, what I can tell you from what our childhood was is that my dad knows this guy, and he used to, when we were younger, we used to meet at this place that had a lake, and every time he wanted to take me out, he would always walk up to my dad, ask him, can he take me out to walk around the lake? And we would walk around the lake when we were younger, and he would always like give me flowers or pick flowers and like make a flower crown and all that, or flower ring, and give it to me. It's very cute. Very, very cute of him. And that is but like kind of what I based off our like getting together with him, because I thought he was going to be that sweet the entire time.
Yeah.
So when we did get together was when the first time I saw him in California, because he used to live in Florida. And when I saw him in California, when we got together, this guy was my first kiss, and that was the only
what year?
thing. This was 7th to 8th grade, summer of 7th to 8th grade year.
Okay.
And so when we got together, like, I lost my first kiss to this guy, and that's the only thing I've ever lost in my entire life. His mom found out we were dating, and she, in the last few days that I was staying there, she basically banned him from seeing me. Because she thought we would do anything else. And so, you know, LA is pretty busy with traffic and all, right?
Mm-hmm.
He ran 2 miles to where I was to see me before I left. That was the last time I saw him before I went on the train. Went on the plane and left for home. And when I got home, this is where hell basically was let loose. This caused our breakup within the 2 weeks we were together. His mom basically started calling me every day, saying that I would betray her son, or I'm not good enough for her son, or whatever. And I'm just like, dude, like, why? Like, you're saying this to a person who's like in 7th to 8th grade. What am I gonna do to your son? I'm on FaceTime with him playing League. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm in 7th to 8th grade. You think we're gonna plan our marriage and like run away or something? Like, she basically called me every day saying like, you're not good enough for my son, or whatever, all that. Okay, I guess. And all he did on the phone was just cry and say stop yelling at her or whatever. And I was just like, dude, that's not enough. All you're doing is crying. I'm sitting here having to argue with your mom. And so I basically broke up with him over the phone. I'm like, I can't handle this, because at this rate, she's calling me every night. She's not calling me like every like 2 days or something. She's calling me every night telling me the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this gonna solve, you know? So I broke it off with him. So that was my second relationship. I guess you can kind of consider it a relationship. And then my last relationship was my 8th grade to my 9th grade year. And that was with my best friend who I have now. And he was the best relationship I've had out of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because, how we ended up together was in a group of 4, where the 2 friends distanced themselves away from us when we got together because they felt awkward with us dating. So they were just like, yeah, we're gonna distance. But I liked one of them at the time, and he was just basically mistreating me the whole entire time because I liked him. And I was like, okay, dude, like, whatever. And when my friend asked me out, he was like, I didn't like how he was treating you. And I was like, it's okay. Like, we're together now. You don't have to worry about him. He's gonna be the least of your worries, you know? And so we move on, and I will tell you the overview of our relationship is that, you know, when some young couples ask, like, do you think we'll be together forever? And I will always tell him, no, this is a chapter in our life, and I don't think that we're going to be together forever. I think this is only a small section of our lives that we're going to spend together as a couple, but I don't see a future with you, like, at all. Future as a friend, possibly, but, and we still are, but not as boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband and wife, whatever they think. And he understood that because he understood my thought process of anything. The only reason I think that way is because I saw my uncle get out of a 10-year relationship, and that girl just got married like a month later.
Jeez.
So you see, in my mind, forever is not a thing. You can be with this person for 10 years and break up, and they can move on so fast. So for me, I'm just like, I don't think there's a forever. It would be nice to think that way, but I don't. But yeah, like, he was the best thing to happen to me because our relationship was insane amount of trust built with each other. Like, whenever he went out, he would tell me when he went out, and when, if he was staying out or when he was coming home, I trusted him enough. And there'd be moments that we're just like, hey, are you into another person, or you're losing feelings? Like, we always check up on each other, being like, hey, do you still feel the same, or did you find interest in another person? Because we don't want each other to look like the bad guy if we found interest in another person. Like, we're long distance, he's in Cali too. So reasons I'm just like, hey, you find interest in a girl who's there, it makes sense because she's there. I can't be there for you. Like, I can be there for you over the phone, but I can't physically show up at your house and be like, hey, I'm here for you. I can be there for you on the phone, but it's not as intimate or like as personal if I was to show up to his house and take care of him or be there for him. Reasons like, we've always understood where we were as friends and as a couple. So we were very open of how we felt, like, if we were losing feelings, or if we were feeling a certain way, or if we were going through something, like, we would be the first person to tell each other. So it was nice having so much trust in a guy. So yeah, like, he was really nice. And the reason we broke up was, like, again, I was really concerned for him and where we were going, so I broke it off with him just to, like, in a way, protect him from me, because I was always overthinking certain things. Like, I did tell him, like, yeah, I'm overthinking this, but he knows why I broke up with him, and he accepts that to this day. So,
How long into it did you end it?
like, I think it was almost a year we were together. Or a year we were together, because I know I wasn't in a relationship with him when I was in 9th grade. So, like, about a year or so. Or either less than a year or a year. So yeah, yeah.
And you said that was it, right? The third one?
Yeah, that was the last guy I was with.
So what are, like, the biggest things you've learned out of relationships?
First one, that I needed to build a shit ton of trust before getting with somebody. And the second one was that I was gonna have to fight my own battles a lot. And then my third one was, like, basically a combination of everything. Like, you have to have this insane amount of trust, build a lot of communication with that person, and just, you know, be open with how you feel. Like, don't bottle everything up until it's too late, you know? So yeah, that's the biggest thing I learned from a relationship, is, like, I can't sit there and bottle everything up and expect him to know. Like, I have to sit there and be like, hey, I want to tell you this and how I'm feeling, so that he can know, because I know that people can't just read my mind like that. So yeah.
Awesome. So that's relationships. I don't think you want to talk about your current standing, right? I mean, you don't have to.
Like, what do you mean?
You know what I
I feel
mean.
like I
Yeah,
feel like
you
I
know.
know, but like
Do you want to talk about it or no?
yeah, we can. He's not here, so it's okay.
See, like you already knew what I was gonna say. Okay, how about we'll get back into this. We'll get back into this.
Okay.
Let's cool down a bit. General stuff. Okay.
I know Eunice is so ready to ask questions. Oh my god.
Let's go over some of your goals and aspirations as of now. I know you mentioned that you want to work at Tesla, SpaceX. What else?
Like other goals in life besides like working for those two things. I think like my other goals have been like where I want to move and like the whole Twitch thing
Mm-hmm.
and content creation. Because before I got into this group of like everybody I met after Hung, I have this group where TW is from, where they're all editors, they're all people who stream, and like they're just all people who do stuff like editing wise and streaming and content creation. Like I wanted to get into that because like I see what they can do and I see like the funny content that they put out with our like funny moments in game. Like I just wanted to uh make content but in a way like preserve memories of my friends, you know. I
Mm-hmm.
want to be like reminder of like, oh, like I used to be friends with this person just in case of like we just distance ourselves or like we just grow apart, you know. So like in my goal was just make content to make other people happy, but for me is to preserve memories of my friends.
Yeah.
Tim, you're a content creator, shut up.
So those are the goals and aspirations.
Yeah.
Let's talk about travel and adventure. What have you done so far? Where have you been to? I know you mentioned Budapest. And where
I've
would you
been
like to go?
besides California and Budapest, I've been to Canada, Vancouver, Canada, for something that I don't want to get into.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like personal reasons for my dad, so I would respect my dad for this.
Mm-hmm.
But where I want to go in the future is I have a lot of friends overseas. Like I want to go to Italy to see my friend there. I want to go to Australia to see Eunice and Christina. Um, I want to go to Greece to see my other friends there and Rome and just anywhere in Europe because I love like the people there. Like I love like I made friends all the way over there, but you know, you can't really play with them because of the lag.
Mm-hmm.
But I met a lot of people during this like whole quarantine, so I kind of want to go out and see them. But mainly, like my main goal right now is to go to TwitchCon and meet everybody, like you and like Hung and all that, all those people in the world that I met. Like, yeah, and possibly think about moving there in the future because I like having a busy life. I like being around like just busy city and all.
Mm-hmm. I see. Nice. So that's travel and adventure talk.
Mm.
We could talk about some interests. Are you big on either shows, movies, anime, or dramas?
I don't really watch movies or shows. I watch more like true crime documentaries the most.
Mm-hmm.
Or like I think I've only gotten into a couple anime series, which is like Jujutsu Kaisen. I still do watch One Piece. And I haven't really went out there and watched a lot of anime. I just been listening to music most of my time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't really watch shows like that. Like I'll get into it if like my friends put it on in like Discord and watch it, but I don't really go out of my way to be like, oh, let me look for a show, you know?
Ah, I see.
Like I watch Game of Thrones, but that's like the furthest I ever went into a TV series.
Did you finish it?
Yeah.
Thoughts? about everything, the whole series, not just the ending.
I like the whole series. I was just disappointed at the end. I love the whole series though. I loved like how it was not the typical like there's always a happy ending or whatever, or there's always like a hero, you know. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it's a little bit more gruesome, a little bit more realistic. I kind of liked it, kind of hated it at some parts, but I kind of liked it. So yeah, it was a good show to get into with my cousin, but like that's
Yeah.
really it. What, Tracy?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, that was the only person I really watched it with.
Favorite character from Game of Thrones.
I don't like it. I don't have a favorite.
Oh shoot. Okay. All good, all good. So you
Yeah.
mentioned a few things that you watch, even though you don't really watch much, which is fine.
No,
Um,
Yumi, I don't have babies.
let's talk about music you're into, favorite song, and favorite artist.
Favorite song? I have a. Think my favorite song has to be I Need You by BTS because I get very emotional. No, yeah, I Need You by BTS. And then uh, my favorite artist is BTS because I've been with them since debut, so kind of biased because I've been with them for so long.
Yeah.
But it's not like, oh, they're handsome boys. It's like literally I kind of like the meaning behind some of their music, like I Need You, and then like other like just how hardworking they are. I always look at how hardworking the artist is before I jump to the conclusion I like them, because you know, seeing who I appreciate in my life, who is my dad, I always look at the person's worth ethic and their morals and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the reason I like them the most, even though it's like the typical thing. Like you can't blame me for liking them.
Yeah, of course, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's what you like.
yeah. I only love Jungkook for his ass.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about your dog. Anything you want to say about your dog? Like when you got your dog,
My dog,
personality.
he's a crackhead. Oh, he just got raided.
Oh snap, Chimp! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, guys. Ash,
Welcome, raiders.
Bandy. How's the stream, Chimp? Thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh. Appreciate you.
Look at Andy doing his job as a mod. That he doesn't do in mine. I'll call you out, Andy. I'll call you out.
Okay, Andy, she didn't mean it. Okay, fighting words. Okay, guys, relax, relax.
He does his job, don't worry.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for the raid, Chimp.
Are we fighting now?
Okay,
I'm
but
sorry,
yes, your
Andy.
doggy, your doggo.
Yeah, I got him like I think 5th grade, 4th grade or 5th grade, and he was 3 at the time. He's 18 now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's his personality is really his personality is that he'll sleep all day just to be a crackhead at night. Like he'll run like the most at night and then he'll cause the most havoc at night. But during the day he's just the calmest dog in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like earlier when you saw him barking at my mom, it's literally any movement outside my room, he'll start barking at me. At it. And like how he is like if you were to just turn on the light from the kitchen and he sees that under the door, he'll start barking. You come into my room when I'm sleeping, he'll sit over my legs and start barking.
Yeah.
So like my dog's more accustomed that I am the only person in his life. He'll get along with my mom and dad after he's like calmed down, but like the main person he protects is me. Like he's the type of small dog that will pick a fight with a bigger dog and win. Because he bit my grandma's bigger dog and that dog is scared of him now.
Mhm.
Forever scarred.
Jeez, no.
Because like if he's on the carpet, the bigger dog won't be on the carpet. If he's on the hardwood, the bigger dog won't be on the hardwood.
Yeah.
Like he'll do everything to avoid that the smaller dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my pupper. He's asleep now because he's exhausted himself. But he does have like heart problems. I have to pick up it's like a pill every 12 hours that he has to take for his heart. But every other organ is fine. It's just that if you listen to his heart, it's very obvious that he's an old man.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into the topic of Twitch, since that's a pretty big one, let's talk about other social media that you currently use. As you guys can see, Instagram on the bottom right. Go ahead.
I only use Instagram really to just scroll around. Well, now it's like I post a lot of pictures of myself. I have archived a lot of scenery photos. But my Instagram is really just like all my highlights. I have one highlight of like my Twitch people. Like I think I don't remember if I highlighted you in it, but I do always promote my friends like on Insta. Like if you're streaming or like at the other 10 tabs I keep open are streaming, I always like take a picture and be like, hey, this person's live, here's the link. I mainly used Instagram to promote my friends, and then most of the time I use it to keep memories. Everything always traces back to memories with me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Instagram is like promotion and memories, really. That's
Anything
it.
else?
I don't really use like Twitter much. Like most of my social media is for me to just scroll and just look at artwork because I really like artwork.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. Guess it's time. Twitch time. Let's talk about how you first heard about Twitch and what got you into streaming.
First time I heard about Twitch was through a Minecraft streamer. And I was really curious of how he streamed on a MacBook or like the big MacBook like PC. So like I just got into Twitch and I just watched people play, like League pro players play. And like that got boring real quick because like League, no offense, even though I play it, it does get boring after a while. Because it's like 40 minutes of like just sitting there just staring at a screen, really. And the first time I got involved into streaming was when I first got my PC and I knew that I can finally stream because I didn't know how to stream on a MacBook. So I was just like, you know what, I can stream on a PC a little bit easier than on a MacBook. So that was the first time. And I only streamed for like 3 months because I don't know, after like the 3 months of like experiencing it, I was just like, this is very exhausting putting up a persona that you just like I was like, I no offense to the people who did watch me, like I wasn't entertaining at all. I wasn't doing anything but playing League and Apex. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna let my friends stream, clip the good moments and move on with my day. But yeah, that was like the first time I got into streaming. And like I only recently got back into it from like a couple friends encouraging me to be like, hey, you should stream or whatever, you know? Like go back to it.
So when was the timeline of like starting, taking a break, starting again?
I would say like, when did I started streaming when I got this old PC, like if you see in the background here. This is like the first PC. I would say that was like, this PC is so old now, so it's like 5-6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, like minimum. Like and then like over time this PC couldn't handle it, so like I just stopped streaming for 2-3 years. and then not 2 or 3, yeah, 2 or 3 years, and then I only recently gotten back into it because I got this new PC and like other encouragement from people.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
What are the current categories that you stream, and what's your current schedule?
The current category I stream is like a study stream and then Valorant, really. And my current schedule originally was streaming at 9 p.m. every day, or every day except weekends. But like now I just stream whenever I want to and just go as long as I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've gotten so busy and like my mental health comes first, so I've taken like a week break off of streaming. So just to relax and get some rest. But yeah, it used to be 9 p.m. like Eastern Standard Time like every day.
Got it. Talk about the emotes and panels and stuff that you have.
The emotes I have are like the Omen one was first because I mained Omen for a while because nobody else played Smokes,
Mm-hmm.
and so I played Smokes. Sage is what I used to play because I always liked being aggressive but still be a healer, and Jet just looked cute, so I just put her in there. But the panels were really from the slides I have, like my scenes. Like she included like little panels at the bottom, so I just used those. But I think now, like since I'm getting more into streaming, I think I'm gonna switch it up every now and then. So like this these scenes that I have now, I'm gonna switch it because Halloween's coming up or like the fall season's coming up. So I'm gonna switch scenes every now and then, just to like keep it kind of fresh and not have the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
And I do plan to get an overlay because it kind of annoys me that I don't have one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Talk a little bit about modding and your experience with modding now.
The first person I mod for, TW bro mods for him too. His name is Kishi TV,
Mm-hmm.
and he is the one person that got me back into streaming, and I met him through an Apex game. And he is a really good friend of mine. Modding for him is just basically me making sure that some things aren't said in chat or like timing some people out, but mostly it's just to greet people and say hi to them and all. There's his emote. Yeah, it's just Kishi's a really chill guy, and his chat isn't really big per se, but like modding for him was more like chill. But like now that I mod for Extra Wired, it gets a little chaotic every now and then. uh I don't do it as much now because I can't stay up, but like when I first started modding for Hung, I greeted everybody. I made sure some things weren't said in chat. There are some times that I messed up on banning the wrong person, but I just feel like they're a threat to Hung sometimes. But I just do keep an eye out for people, and like I do have him on the side whenever I'm streaming just to make sure if he needs me, I'm there. Or like if uh I always inform people whenever he's ranking that um not like he's not trying to ignore you on purpose, like he's just dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, hey, like he's not I'll greet you myself and I'll ask how are you and like how'd you find his stream and all. But I do like make sure they're informed, hey, by the way, he's not trying to ignore you, he's really just dialed in on his rank games. But most of the time he's okay. He has like a couple other mods that take care of it, so he's okay most of the time without me.
Yeah, talk how you met and just found him. Like, when was this?
How me and Hung met?
Yeah, and you could tell everyone who he is because no one really knows him by name, right?
Jinx, who's your favorite person to play with? My favorite person to play with? Shockingly, is not Hung. My favorite person to play with is actually Kev. to be honest, because me and Kev like bounce off of each other really well, and we make jokes while we play. We also cheer each other up when we play. So I really do appreciate my duo the most because he keeps me from talking down to myself. No offense, Arya, but like the one person that I play with the most is Kev. Like he texts me every day saying I like even after a game he's like, you did a good job today. Like you did your best today. So yeah, like I appreciate Kev the most. Like he always checks ups on me and all that. So yeah, Kev is my favorite person to play with. But I'm sorry, what was the question? I'm sorry.
Like, how and when did you meet Hung,
Hung.
aka Extra Wired?
So first, I was playing this unrated game with this guy named Hooligan, and he's a former immortal.
Mm-hmm.
When I met Hooligan, I was always with Tim and Kishi at night, cause like Austin streams 7 p.m. Eastern, so I'm always like either playing with him or in his chat. Kishi was the only guy that I had tapped. Like I tapped nobody else. It was only him. My only friend who streamed that I knew who streamed.
Mm-hmm.
I supported him all the way.
Yeah.
And so I met Hooligan and we started playing and we started talking on Discord. And I don't remember if Tim remembers this, but every night I would get a call from Hooligan and it would be him streaming like ranked games. And I'm like, I always found it like, I always like watching high ranked players play because I learn a lot from it. But then there was this one night he was like, oh, my friend is like, I heard his like duo speak, which was Hung. And I was like, oh, like, is your friend talking to you or something? And he was like, oh, no, like, he's like streaming. And I was like, oh, like, is he a small streamer? Like, can you give me his Twitch so I can give him a follow and like keep him tabbed, like support him? Because like, I've always been like, after I met Kishi, I always wanted to support small streamers. Like, that was like where like the seed was basically planted. Like, I always wanted to support small streamers after Kishi. So he was like, oh yeah, I'll give you. He gives me Hung's Twitch, and I hop in, and I was like, oh wow. Like the first thing I noticed, I was like, okay, he's cute. Okay, no, like he's not here. I don't care. He's cute. And I was
First
like,
impressions, yeah.
I was like, oh, he's like a pretty chill guy. I didn't think he was intimidating, but the voice that he gave off, I was like, oh, okay. But he seemed like a very chill guy. He seemed like really nice, like at first, and I was like, oh, okay, like I'll stick around more. And I told him where I was from and everything. And I think like by the second day, after like having him tabbed on my iPad all night long until I woke up, like we exchanged Discord and Riot IDs. And I was like, okay, this guy's pretty chill. Like I like him. I think it was like the third time that Hooligan called me out of nowhere. Like this is dragging me out of me and Kishi's like conversation or me sitting in the server. He was like, "Oh, who are you like who like what are you like why are you so distracted? Why are you like so quiet today?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just watching Hung stream." Like I wasn't going to sit there and be like, "Oh, it's nothing. I will tell you what I'm doing," you know? I was like, oh, I'm watching Hung stream. I'm very quiet. And he's like, oh, okay. And I think after that night, I just never talked to him again. He just never called me ever again. And I was like, I guess. But after that night, I was always in Hung stream. I was like, and then there was like one time I was like, oh, do you have a Discord? Like, cause I made Kishi's Discord. So I was like, oh, do you have a Discord? And he's like, oh no, I don't. It's like not worth. Like just like it doesn't like it's not worth being in. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, it's pretty bad. And I was like, okay, give me your Discord. I'll fix it up. I'll do whatever. I will always hold this over his head, where when you see his Discord now, it's really colorful. It has a lot of people. Like a lot of people are alive in it. You know, has roles, has everything. You know. He had one channel, and it wasn't even a general chat. It was a clips chat, and there was like 2 messages in it. And I was like, he was like, I know it's bad. I was like, okay, just give me admin, and I'll just fix everything. Just give me like a theme, and I'll just fix everything for you. And so like most of the things that he does now, like he took away some admin roles and all that. But
Yeah.
like I made an outline and he just basically did everything himself. He figured out everything himself.
Mm-hmm.
But that Discord channel was so scuffed when I first got into it. I was like hung. But yeah, like I do like how the community grew and all that, and like how they're interacting in the Discord and all. But yeah, like meeting Hung I think was the best thing because it made me meet everybody else. Like I don't think I would have met everybody else if I didn't meet him, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest.
Yeah.
Pretty cool guy.
Yeah. Anything else to say about him before you move on?
No. Not until we move on to something else.
Okay. We're still on Twitch.
I know.
So, what would you consider as your favorite memory or favorite stream that you've done so far?
For myself?
Yeah.
I think my favorite stream. I think my favorite stream has to be the one where I got uh, very close to my chat. Like, it was only recently, but it was talking about the things we talked today, where I think I felt really comfortable being vulnerable to cry on stream.
Ooh, I see. Yeah.
Like, I've had two moments to cry that I cried on stream. One was celebrating the 1K that Chang had, and then the second was talking about my past and getting to know my chat and all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was. I think that was my favorite stream, just being able to chat and get personal with my with the people that I knew and
Yeah.
that were sitting and talking in chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my favorite stream so far until the Halloween stream. That might be my favorite next time.
Okay, so let's talk about experiences dealing with trolls and hate. If you ever had, how'd you handle the situation on Twitch?
On Twitch, I think on Twitch there was this guy who said that I was dog water or shit at Valorant, and I told him like, dude, I just started. Like I just calmly told him I just started, and I was like, you didn't have to come into my chat to tell me. And he's like, oh, you're so ugly or whatever, and I'm just like, you're staring at me. It must be somewhat pretty to you for you to stare at me
Mm-hmm.
for this long, because he was in the chat for a good chunk of time, and then I was like, you know what, I'm kind of like tired of seeing this, so I just mute him or like I banned him. And I was just like, you can tell he can stare at my face if he wants to stay here. So,
Yeah.
if you ban somebody in from the chat, they can still watch the stream. But I've only dealt recently with a lot of hate on Instagram where I made this one comment and this guy went through each photo telling me that I was a fat Asian, and I just blocked him because I wasn't gonna deal with that.
Yeah.
It's social
Jeez.
media. I know to deal with it, and I told a lot of people about it. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's over. You can block somebody because I know this guy's just a little shit behind a screen who can't say that to somebody's face.
Yeah.
Oh my god, shit.
Anything else? Any other encounters?
No.
Okay. So let's talk about how Twitch has changed you and what you'd be doing if you never got into Twitch.
Mm. I think I was probably do the same thing that I was doing before Twitch, was that I would be modding for Kishi, and it's like since Kishi has been you know, um, not but like he's been kind of like not into streaming as much. Like he's been taking his own break, like he's not really into it as much as he was. I probably just be grinding Valorant or just watching videos, going to school, not do nothing really much involving Twitch because Twitch was only a thing with Kishi. I didn't like do
Mm-hmm.
anything else with it
Yeah.
till recently. But yeah, that'd be it. I wouldn't really be doing much. I'd just be doing my own thing that doesn't involve like modding. Probably going to sleep at a moderate time.
Mm-hmm. So, what advice would you give to people who are trying to start on Twitch or if they're trying to grow?
This is kind of like Hung's advice too. But basically, in my opinion, I would say get to know people on Twitch, like branch out, get to know people, play your Twitch whenever you're like in game, just to get people involved in your chat. Don't be toxic in game. They'll just be toxic in your chat, by the way. But just reach out, just try to expose yourself a little bit out there, like maybe post some clips on TikTok or like Instagram, like promote your every time you're going live on any social media. Like even if it's some friends joining or some family members joining, like I would just promote yourself. Don't look at like the picture of like, oh, I'm a small streamer, I'm only gonna get a couple views. Like everybody starts out with a couple views. It's not like you can't pull like a Pokemon and like start up your stream and like 10k people are there, you know? Like you have to start small and grow on that like ability to be like appreciate everybody who comes into your stream and like greet them, talk to them. Just show that you care about your chat. Don't be like, oh, I'm doing this for the views, for popularity. Like you have to consider like these are people who are putting their time to just watch you play, you know? You don't have to think like I have to be like radiant to get views, you know? Like the only thing that I can say to you is that if you're a girl, and this is not to be sexist, this is literally just the ideal of like Twitch, is that if you're a girl on Twitch, you get a little bit more views than a guy. Like a guy, no offense, like in the Twitch community, you just have to like prove that you're worth watching, you know? Like I'm not trying to be mean, but that's just the thought, like the reality of Twitch is that if you're a girl, you get easier views than guys sometimes. And that's just like the sad truth. Like I wish that wasn't the case, but you know, when you if you're a girl, just try to promote yourself. Either one, just try to promote yourself as much as you can because that's how you're gonna get people. You can't just sit there and expect people to like come in, you know? You gotta be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I would try to put the effort to exposing yourself because like who's gonna find out about you if you just don't put yourself out there, you know? You can't just sit back and wait for people to come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my advice on like growing on Twitch because I only have the people that watch me now because I was able to reach out and be like just put myself out there or like talk to people, really.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Good advice. Last thing about Twitch before we come to the last questions. How does it feel to be famous?
How did I know you were gonna ask that? I don't think I'm famous, to be honest. I think I'm only known because I'm stuck in an extra wires chat so often. I didn't think everybody knows that I sit there and greet you every time. I
Mm-hmm.
greet you and talk and ask how your day is, how your streams are going, or whatever. So I think the only reason that I'm known is because of Hung. So I put all the effort and all that to Hung, not myself, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. So how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel okay. I'm
All
like, oh, it's
right.
so nice, dude.
Sorry, I was just trying to get you to acknowledge it, so that was good. That was good.
Who's your favorite person overall? Can I not answer?
Yeah, you don't have to answer. Before we get into the random questions to finish things off, guys, please do keep in mind that you could also ask questions while Evelyn's here on the podcast. Here we go. talk about how you and Kev met and how your relationship developed.
Damn, I don't remember how I met actually. Oh yeah, I do. I met Kev. I think it was in Hung's chat, and he was just a random guy that I knew lurked because I always checked who's gonna be in the chat. So I checked and like I heard Hung mention his name. I was like, oh, like I think we were talking about like who should we duo with or something. And I was just like, oh yeah. So I gave Kev a sub. Like I handpicked my subs to Hung's chat because I hate randoms getting them. I handpicked
Okay.
and I gave him a sub and I was like, oh yeah, we should. I think I asked him like we should duo or something. And that's how our relationship started. It was really like, yeah, it was his birthday too. And it was like, I think we started talking on Discord about like when should we play and all that. And then we started playing and then like that's where the encouragement of like, oh, you got um like you can get better, you can do better. And he's always been like, you'll carry me when you like get like this new PC or whatever. Like he's always been encouraging since day one. And like now we call each other ugly or whatever, but like that's like for shits and giggles.
Damn, that growth right there.
No, like like it went from being like super sweet to checking up on each other and then going to being like every time we wake up and like every time it's like you're ugly and I'm just like okay you're ugly too what about it like that is that's the growth of our friendship.
Yep.
And now we're
Beautiful.
basically everywhere together.
Mhm. Okay, so this is for someone who personally wanted me to ask this. So tell me how you really feel about Ande.
And uh honestly Andy is a honestly I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think of Andy when I first talked about him. I can only recall recent things because I don't remember exactly the first time we talked.
Uh-huh.
But uh, the first time we talked, he basically like we were just talking, just like normal, like getting along. I basically told him about all my problems, like mentally, and he was basically very supportive and like he's like, hey, if you need to talk, and I like he gave me his number first, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll text you. Reasons I can have his number and just call him whenever I want and just bother the fuck out of him.
Mm-hmm.
But recently like he helped me set up my monitors and like certain cord for them and like my PC and all that. So he's been a nice guy and like he was there during like my mental breakdowns and all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's a cool guy.
Great boyfriend, yep.
Great boyfriend. Yeah.
Just had to slide that in there. Okay. Yeah, so that's it. We can move on. Alright, so what are some of your greatest pet peeves?
Oh. I hate when people have a problem with you and they talk to everybody else, but they don't bring it to you. Like, they can act all high and mighty around other people and say that, oh, I'll confront her about this and just never do it. And then I have to find out and confront them and they act like they didn't say it. When I have like chat proof and all. So I'm like, that's like my number one pet peeve is like you can talk you're all this like talk but you can't do it, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I hate about people. Like, I know you have a problem with me, why can't you say it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like my number one pet peeve, really. Other pet peeves are like just because I'm like there's moments I'm a very organized person and like if you don't show up on time or like oh, you invited me out, but you just never remind me, or something like that. It's just hypocritical and like just being like not considerate. Like every time I go out, I always message the person the day before or like a couple hours before asking like, "Hey, are you coming?" or like making sure they're like they know like we remember them, you know? So like that's the main thing. Like pet peeves are just small things in the world. Like making sure like being considerate of other person or just not being a hypocrite, really.
Yeah. So those are some pet peeves.
Yeah. Those are the main ones. I don't really have many, really.
What are some of your greatest fears
My
and why?
greatest fears? Um well, my greatest fear already happened, actually. My greatest fear is like losing my friends to lies about me, or losing my like watching my friend like, you know, die in front of me, or family or friends die in front of me. Like I don't ever want to witness that, or like, you know, find your body one day. It's just that's the one fear in my life. Is just seeing a family member deceased or a friend deceased. It's
Mm-hmm.
my greatest fear.
Yeah. Okay, talk about your greatest accomplishments and greatest failures slash regrets.
Mm, my greatest accomplishment? I think my greatest accomplishment was being able to break out of my shell of like caring about what people thought around me. And by doing that, I was able to like make this whole Attack on Titan like 3D maneuver gear cosplay and going out in it. Like I didn't give zero fucks of what people thought at school. Like
Whoa.
just being able to get out there and just like be who I was. Like yeah, I liked anime. Yeah, I can cosplay. Yeah, I like dressing up as like certain characters. I think that's my biggest accomplishment, was breaking free of like caring about what others thought about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my greatest failure was like I think my greatest failure was disappointing my dad. I think making him cry was my biggest disappointment and regret in life. And I won't get into detail why, it's just like I really made him think that I was a good child and then do something against him
Mm-hmm.
and his morals and that he never expected his kid to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's my one greatest like failure in life, was making my dad cry
Mm-hmm.
and disappointing him. But yeah.
Okay, so coming down to the last three questions, and you have a song prepared for us, right?
Maybe.
You guys get a performance at the end, so yeah.
I actually sat there and went with Umami, and I have like 3, 4 songs on my other monitor.
Oh yeah, you could sing more than one. Let's go.
Now?
No. After the last three questions.
Okay, I was about to say,
Okay.
wait a minute.
Okay, so talk about your first impression of me.
You?
Yeah.
I thought you were a pretty chill guy, to be honest. I was like, damn, this guy's pretty fucking chill. I like that he's doing podcasts and talking. Because the only time I actually genuinely knew about you was. Who was that? Who did you do before Hung? Do you remember? Who was the guy you did before Hung? I
Chill,
don't remember.
Christina, Sriracha. Those three.
I think it was somebody before Hung, but I mainly sat there and like watched you during Hung stream or
Mm-hmm.
podcast, and I was like, damn, like it's kind of nice to have somebody that like wants to get to know streamers, and like I learned more about Hung and like I appreciated that out of you. But for you, I was like, damn, this guy's fucking cool that he's doing all this. And like, it's not like gaming. It's like people are sitting here actually watching you and like talking with you. And I like that because I was like, my friends always talked about having a podcast, but they never do it. Like, I want to do it a lot. But they're just like, nah, we're not gonna do it. And I was like, damn, this guy is literally everything I would want to sit here and listen to. And he interacts with his chat. So I like that about you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mm.
So, who are the top 5 streamers that you find yourself watching the most? And you don't have to put them in specific orders, because we know. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
It's already in an order. But
Yeah. Whatever you want to say.
extrovert obviously, and then you because I do tab you a lot. I tab Umami a lot. I actually have a main streamer tab actually. I watch Pacify and Nikolai.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's really it. It's you. It's Hung, you, Pacify, Nikolai, and Umami that I keep like constantly. She doesn't love me. Michelle! I'm sorry!
Okay. Down to the
Kawaii.
final question. I told you didn't have to put it in order.
It's already in an order. You already know if I list Hung first, it's already in an order.
Okay, so using your connection, considering this question, who would you like to see as a future guest on this podcast and why?
I think I want to see either Kawaii or Nikolai. I think I want Nikolai because he's growing a lot recently. And he's a very dedicated streamer. He likes to interact with his chat and he cares about the people in his chat. And overall, like when I talk to him off stream, he's a really nice guy, and I really want Nikolai to come on. Like Kawaii is a really good friend of mine, and she's a really good streamer too. So like either one was fine, but I really want Nikolai to be on the stream because he's a really chill guy. He's a really nice guy. That's the one person I want on here because he's very dedicated to his stream.
So, Nikolai and Kawaii. How about that? Future podcasts? Question mark? Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, I do take yeses. That's fine too.
I do take yes. I'll ask Nikolai about it.
It's one at a time. One at a time. Well, that was my last question, so you could definitely get ready for your performance.
Okay. I'm shocked that Eunice has not asked a question about me and Hung.
Oh yeah. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. And I'm very shy. Oh, no, it's okay if you don't feel comfortable. Like, I wouldn't force you to do it, so. But who knows? In the future, if you're down, then let's do it. Hawaii, let's do it. Alright, while we wait for Evelyn to give us some wonderful performances.
Why isn't Hung here? Oh, he's busy. He's going out. He's being a social man.
Yo, Andre, welcome back, buddy. It's not 71 subs? What are you talking about? But
Yeah,
it's
Hung is-
odd. Welcome
Hung
back.
is-
Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Done one before, but in a group, so I felt like the attention was spread out. I think Nico would be good though. Yeah, of course. I would ask both of you guys. In the end, I would definitely try to get everyone as a guest in the podcast to get to know them personally. And then I also want to consider doing group podcast things, which was
That'd be fun.
which was a great idea I got from Chill. So yeah, those are your two picks though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've met Nikolai a few days ago or so, and Kauai now. So there you go. High five, new friends, new friends.
New friends, new friends. I told them to come watch. So, Evelyn, are you simping over someone right now?
It's for the hydrate, Emma. I love to
Yes, I
watch
am. I am simping over somebody right now.
that. Wait, do you guys really have like a little squad or what?
For a
The
group?
shrimp gang? Is that real?
Yeah, that's me and fucking mommy.
Oh my gosh, okay.
But
Thanks for the
yeah,
lurk, Andre.
I am simping over somebody, Eunice.
There's no way Eunice wanted to ask that. There's no way.
You know her.
Oh, I'm done taking notes. I'm done taking notes. It's performance time. Just go whenever you're ready. Guys, make sure to hype Evelyn up as much as you can, alright? While she performs, she's gonna be singing for us. Alright, tell me when you're ready. I'll pause the music and you can go.
Alright, I guess I'll just stream the music then. I'll do the song that you struggle with the high note for. Is what I...
Wait, what? Me?
You said that you didn't like the high note of this one. But the Bruno
Oh,
Mars one.
wait. No, Mommy's the one that performed this. I never tried this.
Did you not?
I would not try this.
Oh yeah, he did perform this on stream today too.
Alright. Take it away.
Okay. You... know you're somewhere out there, somewhere far away. I want you back. I want you back. My neighbors think I'm crazy, but they don't understand. You're all I had. You're all I had. Night when the stars light up my room, I sit by myself, talking to the moon, trying to get to you. In hopes you're on the other side, talking to me too, or am I a fool? Sits alone, talking to the moon. Oh, feeling like I'm famous, talk of the town. They say I've gone mad. I've gone mad. They don't know what I know. When the sun goes down, someone's talking back. Yeah, they're talking back. Oh, a night when the stars light up my room, I sit by.
What happened? What happened? Hello? Are you still there? Um, Evelyn? Hello? No way! Dude, I thought my internet died. Oh my god. Twitch couldn't handle it. Yo, cut. Oh my god, Kathia! Hello! I haven't seen you in like 72 years. How are you?
Calling. Ah, ah.
Can you hear me? Wait. Evelyn? Hello? Hello?
Hello? My internet crashed.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, you kind of froze there, so we're
That's
like
awkward.
worried for a second. So
That's awkward.
you could finish.
Oofy. Oofy. Sorry, guys.
No worries, no worries.
Hope you're on the other side. Talking to me too, or am I a fool? Is this alone? Talking to the moon. Oh, I know you're somewhere out there, somewhere far away. That's it.
Let's go. And you have more for us. Let's go.
Oh, you were supposed to say the other
That was your warm up.
time. Oh. I don't know, bro.
Okay, it's okay. Whenever you're ready.
Drink some water.
Yes. Do drink some water. Yo, Crads, thanks for coming back, buddy. Terrible things past 2 days. Oh, gosh, not too
Oh
bad.
no.
Yes, good job. There you go. I love the hype, guys. I love the hype. Keep it going. Keep it going. Please don't crash. Please don't crash.
Yeah. This is the end, this is the end, this is the end of me. The intent, unavailable emotionally. I've been bends, going around bends, could have been death of me. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Baby, I'm the best mistake you ever made. You sound so fucking beautiful when you say my name. Right into the God, a God I don't believe. The more I had my scars, the easier I bleed. Baby, I'm the worst you ever had. Tell me you're beautiful and stab you in the back. Praying I'm the one that I'm a curse. No, they trying to fix me. The more you make it worse, cause you love me at my worst. Cause you love me, even though that it hurts. Could you love me? Could you love me? Could you love me at my worst? It's called to not disturb. I don't want to speak. This is the end. These friends, these are enemies. I was fool, stuck in the past. Your was memories. I'm not ready for you to forget me. Name that I'm the best mistake you ever made. Sounds so fucking beautiful when you say my name. Swear to a God I don't believe. It's probably all my scars that I let nobody see. I'm the worst that you ever had. Tell you you're beautiful and stab you in the back. Then I'm the one, though maybe I'm a curse. Maybe try to fix me, the more you make it worse. As you love me at my worst. Do you love me, even though that it hurts? Could you love me? Could you love me? Could you love me at my worst? The end, this is the end, this is the end of me. The end, this is the end, this is the end of me. I'm the worst you ever had. Tell you you're beautiful and stab you in the back. You're praying I'm the one, but maybe I'm a curse. The more you try to fix me, the more you make it worse. Could you love me at my worst? Could you love me, even though that it hurts? Could you love me? Could you love me? They love me at my worst. Maybe I'm the worst you ever had. Really are beautiful and stab you in the back. Saying I'm the one, then maybe I'm a curse. The more you try to fix me, the more you make it worse. 'Cause you love me at my worst. This is the end, this is the end, this is the end of me. Oh, doesn't want to move on to that song because that
Let's
song is all in
go.
Korean.
All right, I'm gonna do this a cappella since the voice isn't syncing up with the music right now.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah, it's okay though. You did
Oh,
great.
okay. Thanks.
Yes, yes. Encore, keep them coming. Keep them coming.
What?
I thought you said you had 4, right?
Uh, Kawaii. Ah.
Encore.
I think I might do a song that I just know because the other ones are like kind of.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, like a lot of some of you already heard this one, but
It's
yeah,
okay.
so it's okay. It's my favorite, so it's okay in a way. uh, I was not expecting people to like it so far.
What do you mean? Got
It's
this. You
okay.
got this.
All right, I'll go again. Your living is just getting harder and harder to do. Cause my head says no, but money calling you. And you never pick up unless you got nothing to do. But it says that you want me, and I says you over and over like it's a river. Will your games be through? Play me over and over like an lover. Hoping you'll run the quarter soon. Don't hurt me, leave me, and I don't mean that. Love me all the way to death. Oh, it's killing me how that it's holding me down. That I wanna hold you. Oh, I might burn to the ground. See me burn with a smile. If I die, is with you. Ah. Oh, Nikolai is in chat. Nikolai, I
Wait,
suggest
what
being
that
on the
was
podcast.
that was the song?
Well,
That was
that
pretty
was the.
short, huh?
I know it. That's what I said. I was
That
like,
was
this.
beautiful. Acapella. Acapella too. We get another one, guys.
Oh no. Okay. Uh,
Not the real Alvig. Welcome to the stream. What's up? What's up? How's it going? We're finishing up the podcast. Evelyn's singing for us, and then we're gonna close it out. I'm shy. That's exactly what Kawaii said, right?
yeah, both of them are shy. Nikolai's not shy. That's the biggest cap I've ever heard. Biggest cap, caparoonie.
Yeah, podcast. We finished talking, but now it's the singing portion.
Yeah. Yeah, I finished the podcast. Nikolai, I'm sorry. And she did say you were shy. Yeah, you are. You're both shy. But it's okay. I was nervous as hell today too. Don't worry, guys. It's okay. It's just talking. It's pretty chill. Wilson isn't like bearing down on you. He's just very chill. You can tell whatever you
Mm-hmm.
want.
Exactly, guys. We're all
You don't have
friends
to
here.
expose everything. I think he's still out.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Oh wait, can you hear the music? Or no?
No, it's not in sync. So wait, actually,
Okay,
let me
that's
try
fine.
it. I'll turn it off if you guys aren't in sync, but you could keep going.
Okay. No limit in the sky that I won't fly for ya. No matter tears in my eyes that I won't cry for ya. Oh no, with every breath that I take, I want you to share that air with me. There's no promise that I won't keep. I'll climb a mountain, there's none to sleep. Till it comes to you. There's no crime. I'll take both our souls and intertwines when it comes to you. Don't be blind to speak from my heart when it comes to you. Comes to you. Mm-hmm. I want you to share that. Mm-hmm. Up to you. Cupid ain't a lie, gotta let your name on it. Oh yeah. To miss out on a love and regret yourself on it. Oh, hold up your mind, clear your head. Ain't gotta wake up to an empty bed. Share my life is yours to keep. Now that I give you all of me, and it comes to you. There's no crime. Let's take both of our souls and intertwine when it comes to you. Don't be blind. Watch you speak from my heart when it comes to you. Comes to you. Mm-hmm. I want you to share that. Mm-hmm. It kind of comes to you. There's no crime. Let's take both of our souls and intertwine when it comes to you. Don't be blind. Watch you speak from my heart when it comes to you. Comes to you. That's it for that song. Yeah.
Good job. Let's go.
Oh mm,
How are you feeling?
I'm bit. I'm feeling okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. I'm going to close out this portion for the YouTube video at least. But yeah, that was great. Thank you for doing that. This has been the Chang Gang Podcast, episode 20, featuring JinxEndless, aka Evelyn. Evelyn, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. You were very open and vulnerable with us. I hope you enjoyed your stay here.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah, any last words before we just sign out?
Nah.
Alright, guys, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Wait until next time, guys. Episode 21 is coming sooner than you think.